Right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's been quite the day. We had CPI, the core CPI came in a little bit lower, and that was actually the good news of the day. It should have been a much better vibe. I was saying in the morning, we had up to like 0.5%, 1% because of the core CPI surprise, but then literally right off the morning, within 15 minutes, Trump was talking about Iran and how he was even encouraging the protesters to take over they say overwhelm the institution, something along those lines. But then that sent oil up. Gold and silver was already up. These started dropping, and then we like balanced out for a little. Again, staples were up all day. The Dow just looks bad because of bank stocks. You had JP Morgan earnings and a couple of others, and then a couple of other tech names were trading a little lower, like Microsoft. There was news about Trump saying that like tech companies doing AI, they need to take over the utility cost and not pass it on to consumers and lead it to, higher prices in terms of all the data centers. And Microsoft is going to be at the White House tomorrow. So that was part of it. And then you rotated a little bit. Tech got a bounce. There was bad NVIDIA news, or again, good kind of. It was news regarding NVIDIA and the China ban. And then we ripped up for a little bit. You got a random pops and locks coming from the JP Morgan Health Conference. And then right here, we heard a little bit about Greenland. And then like 3 minutes ago, we just heard, again, another comment from Iran, or Trump regarding Iran. And he said, you'll see. We'll see what happens. You'll find out. We'll find out. And then, oil's been up, and that's pretty much our day. So should have been a better day, for real, with the CPI. I mean, it didn't change policy estimates, but we're there. Cleveland Cliffs running up here too. But I still think kind of exciting. I mean, we had a lot of good questions today, a lot of good talks. I got a really good Philo for you, but I do think to start off this year, we haven't done much, man. This is still a hangover from last year. I don't think there's been any major new themes. I mean, even silver, gold, the memory stocks, all of this is like a weird hint of last year. So that's why if we get a big dollar move, if we get something big with the bonds, then maybe we could start to get something. But other than that, man, we're going to have to wait till this year picks up. I think VIX seasonality starts to rise from here, but when it's all said and done, man, we haven't even gotten to the action this year. So y'all better stay ready, Chattadonia, and you better get a long term. So that being said, we're going to begin Philo here. Maybe we'll give it a couple minutes as the market kind of declines. But again, you should know the setup. I mean, if we're going to decline further, it'll be staples giving up, or it's going to be more of this, geopolitical tensions. But then again, this time now, like half of the day with geopolitical tensions, you had gold and silver up, but now they're dumping. We have seen that before, but yeah, man, we're gonna see. So I'll give it a little bit, and I think we'll begin. I'm gonna begin. I say, you know what? I'll get you a Philo alert. We'll begin in like 3 minutes or so. We'll just see where this goes near the bottom, and I'm sure we'll be able to go from there. I know you want the Jesus on today. That's a heavily requested one. All right, man, get ready. Get ready. Jesus. Praise God. Amen. It's a call, baby. Yeah. If we talking plays, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah, it's done. Daddy said it's finished, made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours, it's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the arc. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god, then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib, but for a second, keep it real, that's not the reason they will kill. It's the freedom in believing, they want death to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say a prayer. Here, let's say it now. Jesus. I Put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there. Like swimwear, I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear, oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Amen. 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 Give it a second. I want to begin, but we'll just see what it does here. And then you and Nate started dumping a little bit. Damn, back to 330? Not a little bit lower? No. Oh, you had 303 ended last year. Yeah, that was on SoundCloud for you, dog. Yeah, last January was really exciting, but this one's been very hangovery. I don't think we've gotten as much of that crazy activity. I think it was around this time, but then again, that was like the first year of the admin, getting a lot of it. That's the crazy part, because even though you're not getting a lot of noise, just remember that a lot of those tailwinds, a lot of what was announced last year comes into play. Literally, it has been over the last 12 days. But yeah, we that's why we were saying, like, even the IEEPA tariffs tomorrow, if we get a decision, if we get like fresh noise, market will like that. But really, you could correlate it. The dollar, that's, man, the dollar, the currency. You hear this? I'll just play you the chorus, because it's talking about the dollar, the pound, the loonie.
This is where our story ends.
I wanna know the answer to this question. I wanna know how you feel.
This is where our story ends.
If the flesh worth the pound, then the yen is for your head. Good until I cancel it, feel it overseas. Think I'm colorblind, my screen is only green and red. Seeing dollar signs, praying I'm not disillusioned. My word is being starving, the world keep turning. The words sound luminous, the truth is returned. Ironically, the businessman is found at burning. Being frank, I stopped feeling bad when they stopped learning. Choke back, some of y'all turn the track down. Flip the script, I'm not the ghost, I'm the fucking Pac-Man. Let you little kids play, time to hand it back now. You saw me never sell a stack. You think I'll really back down? Game time. Bro, I can't believe y'all heard me sneeze today, bro. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze every 10 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Watch oil. Trump just said, good idea if Americans evacuate from Iran. And then General Motors and Stellantis are doing well. But yeah, did he say that earlier? Or I don't know if that one, it's coming up now, but I don't know if that one's fresh, because oil kind of had the pop on the something's coming. But yeah, so again, that's going to be some of your headlines here right now. But Chattadonia. Oh, yeah, he did say it earlier. All right, thank you. So here's the deal, brothers and sisters and anything else in between. I hope y'all realize, man, y'all are blessed, okay? I hope you got yesterday's Philo. And I don't know. I think it'll help a lot. Oh, man. I love it. But I said it earlier, man. This is for the young guys. I do have something for every age, but my mind was blown yesterday. Talking to some of the Chads, man, it was a really crazy realization. I don't know why. It seemed very obvious, but, especially when you pull up a stock chart and you go back a couple years and just to think about it, I've been doing this my whole life, man. And it's kind of crazy because some of it seems so just like normal to me. But yeah, man, if you guys are fresh on this, and even then, even a couple years under your belt, you guys got a lot in store, and you cannot, just don't fall for anything that is telling you that you don't have an opportunity, that you don't have a shot. Now, granted, it will be difficult. It doesn't mean it's easier, and I think a lot of people got to learn that firsthand, that it's not it's always easier said than done. And in the moment, like I've always told people, man, the hardest part about getting rich, the hardest part about building a life you want, it's not about the action. Getting easy is rich. Getting the things you want is easy. Getting rich is easy. I don't know what the hell I just said. But like the hard part is the time. I'm being dead ass serious. That the timing and like being able to go through a year, that is a lot of time. And like day by day, little by little, month by month, year by year, that's the hard part. The action of what you need to do, that is not difficult. That's easy. The hard part is doing it and then staying with it. The hard part is doing it, handling the changes, handling the emotions. Again, it's a picture, it's a vision, but you don't see it all. And as you got to like go and live through it. NVO getting a knife to the downside. So that's just, I don't know. I mean, there's so much on this topic, but I do want to talk to some of the younger people. I mean, if you're below 18, that's crazy. That's very young. But like even then, like 20 to 25, because that's the thing. Because some of you guys, you're like, well, Josh, I'm 30, I'm 35. I know, mother effer. I talked to you 5 years ago, and thank God. It's because some of y'all, that's what I'm saying. Like seeing how well you've done, it's crazy because I do think that some of the younger guys who may not, you guys have now have 5 years under your belt. I don't know, you may have came in with a couple years prior, but there's a lot of people that where I'm like, dude, some of you are at a golden opportunity, and it is really the exact same setup that we got into when we started. And I even had a 10, 15 year jump before I started doing any YouTube. I was in the markets already. But when you look at it, man, we started this example when things were expensive. Everything was high, literally the first long term. And this is what I'm saying. When you pull out the chart and see it, man, like this is where we started. It was already the highest the market has ever been, right? The things were different. The market, real estate, and then it went up, and then you had the first ever damn pandemic, right? And then it rocketed up for 2 years, and then it got even higher. So if you thought it was already late, and then again, after that, it went down like 30, 40%. And then for 2 years, everybody who got in here, if they were late, it hurt even more. And then it felt like we did nothing for 2 years. And this is modern. This is you guys were starting to get a little older here. But at the same time, it's like it took two years to begin, and then it did it again. And this is going to keep happening. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, man, is like the same narrative of things are difficult, culture, society, you name it, man. It all existed. Now, granted, things do change, and things, you have different battles, and you also have easier things to handle. But you got to start using your time now. And that is what I want to talk about. So I know some of y'all might not like it, but honestly, I would argue, bro, you're too young to not like it. I'm going to read you something, and you may not like it and be like, oh my gosh, I hate this religious indoctrination. I'm like, if you're in your 20s, bro, you are 20 years old, 25 years old. You are too fucking young to be even getting pissed off at this type of shit. Does that make sense? Like, I get it coming from somebody 30, 35, 40. You've got to live a little bit more life, get let down in some ways, and deal with a bunch of hypocrites and all other people. I get it. That's fine. You could get mad about it if you're older. But if you're young, I just encourage you to listen, all right? Because I think this one is critical. Critical. Are you ready? Lamentations 27. It is good for a man to bear the yoke while he is young. Let him sit alone in silence, for the Lord has laid it on him. Let him bury his face in the dust. There may yet be hope. Let him offer his cheek to one who would strike him, and let him be filled with disgrace. For no one is cast off by the Lord forever. I love it, bro. Like I'm saying, last night I was talking to some of the Chads, having this realization at how young some of you were, and really the context. Because that's what I'm saying, man. They're like, what do you mean the Fed? I didn't even understand what they were doing. What do you mean Powell? Right? I would think about it. We were watching Powell videos when y'all were 15, when y'all were 12. And like, it's good. Because even if you think you're lacking understanding, bro, you ain't lacking anything. That's why you got to get on the right path and get on the right path as soon as possible. And it's simple, man. It's good to bear it while you're young. So if you think this is hard, you think you don't got any opportunity, man, it's better that you deal with it now while you are young. Do you understand? Let him sit alone in silence, for the Lord has laid it on you. And I hope you realize how it ended. It says, let him bury his face in dust. I've always said, man, you're going to have to eat some shit for a little bit. It's going to feel very difficult. You're going to have to make sacrifices. But guess what? If you do it while you're young, it is better than anything. And guess what? It's not going to be like that forever. I promise you. I think the word promises it for you. No one is cast off by the Lord forever, bro. This whole do it simply, start now, do it young, bear the yoke, deal with the issues, find a way to overcome it, all of it, man. It's not going to last forever. I promise you. It seems so slow when we started out. All these accounts, bro, they were $300, couple $100, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and then some went as high as almost 300 grand. But it all started very small, and there was years of time. There was times where we weren't doing anything with it. You guys all got to wake up every day. You're going to have to go to work. You're going to have to try to find a job. You're going to have to try to figure out your plan in life, and then don't be worried about it. Because if you do it and focus and position yourself now while you are young, my brother, that situation ain't going to last forever. Then what situation I'm talking about is the situation where it feels hopeless, where it feels like you're not doing anything, where it feels like you're not making progress. No, you are. But that's going to be on you. Take the silence now, bro. And if this is where you have been called in your life, and if you're at 20 years old, 25 years old, and you're like, yeah, this stuff, okay, I got to start investing. I got to start thinking about good. And if you do it now, it is better to handle the yoke when you are young. It is better to figure this out and deal with these hurdles now while you are young. I don't know if you realize how crazy this is. You're going to deal with it, bro. It's a different ball game when you're older. It's a different ball game if now, because like I'm saying, you're going to do this no matter what. You're going to go look at the world. You're going to look at houses. You're going to look at real estate, look at stocks. You're going to look at the degradation of society, and it's always going to feel like all-time highs. You get what I'm saying? Look at every single time. It's going to look like all-time highs, no matter what. And you get these little opportunities. And then there's the time it does nothing. I mean, even if you start pulling this track out, I remember there was a lot of times where kind of stagnated. But look, it's always going to feel like that. And I know it looks crazy now. It's not about, you're not running a 1-year race, bro. You're not doing something today and then, okay, we're done. This is all about getting started. That right there is the key. And if you're young and you get this started right now, bro, you're going to be able to handle these moments, and you're going to be able to see why. But the longer you put it off, it's better you start here while it feels unattainable than starting 5 years later, even though you already had the wherewithal to understand it right now, or you had the even desire to get into it. And that's what I'm saying. Some of you now, how did you get here? Even if you're 20 years old, even if you're 25 years old, you were like, okay, I want to care about it. And then once you do that, you get faced with all these problems. Then you get faced with all the challenges. Then you start looking that it seems hopeless and all these other things. But that's how it felt for everybody. And I know I'm not trying to minimize the situation. I've had this conversation many times over the years. I really have. And I know at certain times people get really, really bothered. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a challenge. You are going up against things. But it is better to deal with it while you are young. It is better to start and bear the yoke now while you are young. It's better that you sit in the silence, sit alone today while you're still young, and grow into what you are meant to be. better to do it young than old. It's better to cover your face in dirt, get knocked down, and still be young enough to still keep going and let it grow into something. So that's the main point, man. And I have another one for you, but this one, man, when it's all said and done, I think it's really exciting because y'all ain't even seen the background of it all. I mean, again, you were young, so it's very, very exciting. It's very, very exciting, and really what I'm trying to tell you, man, is unite with yourself. There is gonna be a future you, and if you deal this now while you are younger, you deal this now in the early part of your age, of your life, and you decide, I'm gonna take care of myself. I am going to try to position myself as best as possible and put in this and care about where there's a future you that you are going to meet one day. You understand that? Think about it. Your 15-year-old self is meeting the 21-year-old self today. Guess what, you 21-year-olds? You're going to meet a 26-year-old version. You're going to meet a 30-year-old version of you. You need to unite with yourself today. You know why? Because if you don't, you're going to unite with bondage. That's what happens. You're going to unite with the feeling of hopelessness. That's the problem that I've seen. That's the thing that I really don't fuck with, man. And I'm telling you, it's so destructive. You are better off uniting right now with yourself, taking up whatever challenge it is, figuring it out and learning and putting in that early investment today, whether or not it seems like it's a lot or not, then saying, you know what, instead of caring about the future, it's you, your body, your life, it's you, bro. You're better off uniting with yourself than uniting with bondage down the road. And then saying, nope, I'm stuck. It'll never change. Because think about it, bro. If it's hard today, what do you think is going to happen in 5 years? What do you think is going to happen in 10 years? You get what I'm saying? It's very simple. It is going to be the same exact thing. Because that's what we're seeing. All you're seeing is the same thing, just a higher price, more people, more conflict. It's going to be the same thing. So you need to unite with yourself, right? Why are you choosing the side of, I want to unite with bondage? No, my hands are tied today. I want to keep them tied. You're better off trying to pull off them strings one by one. Pull it by each little thread. It'll seem like nothing, bro. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen those movies? People like get tied up and they try to break out of the handcuffs or the ropes. You just little by little, bro. And you're better off doing that and uniting with that in your future rather than saying, okay, I'm faced with this scenario. Let me align with that. That's not it. Why? Because it's going to be the same thing. And then it's going to be harder if you do it older. That's just the reality of it. You know, imitate your father, bro. And now that's what I said. Some of y'all too young to get pissed off by this. You know what they call God before anything? They called him Creator. The Creator. Do you believe in the Creator? Do you know what a creator is? You create things. That's what it is. Imitate your father, bro. Deal with it right now and create something out of nothing. You get it? That's what you got to start doing. So it's difficult now. It's hard. You may be young. You may be whatever you think. The world looked over you or not. You are young. But you could create something. That's what I'm saying. Even your financial future, your savings, the vision, investments, all of it, bro. You got to create. That's what it starts with. It's about, that's the part where a lot of young people really don't get this one. You need to stop looking at the mess of life and thinking that nothing's going to change and looking at the mess and saying, that's it, we're stuck. You need to look at the mess and turn it into something. You need to be able to say, this is what whatever pieces I have, I am going to create something with it. That's the key to all of this. Whether it's wealth, whether it's happiness, you name it. I guarantee you're starting with nothing on anything you really desire. And you do it while you're younger, man. You create out of nothing. It will look like a mess today. It'll look like it's nothing. It'll look useless. You start putting in that time for it, you will be able to turn and actually make a creation out of something that looked messy, out of something that looked like it was absolutely nothing. Something from the dust. Like I said, man, imitate your father. They called him the creator above all, man. But I know I'm not trying to indoctrinate you with religion, but you know what I am trying to do? I want you to create. I really do. And I don't mean you don't need to be a content creator. You need to create your financial future. At the very minimum, you need to create the mentality that you could do things and create it yourself, because you can. But that doesn't it's not a magic trick. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it does require steps. It requires being able to take this burden on when you're young. Because everything I'm telling you right now, bro, this is a burden. I'm telling you a burden. It's very different than people. You're going to be different than a lot of society. But it's something that you're going to have to either choose to take on or not. And say, I am going to create this. I see this and I want to create it. It is more than possible. And I'm telling you right now, if it feels impossible today, it's not going to get less impossible down the line. Even if it becomes a little easy, even if the prices go down 10%, 20%, even if real estate come down 50%, dog, you might be 50% older. It's going to be different. It's going to be different to form that mind. It's going to, again, do not let nothing or a mess just sit there. You got to start learning to create and say, I want to create this in my life, and create it. Because I'm telling you, it's easier said than done, but it does really work like that. So this is the thing. I gave this one to you a while ago. And this one applies to everybody. You know that? So I really am, I think for the young guys, bro, I want y'all to create, man. And I do hope that every day you really start focusing on creating. And it's going to be a bitch. Because like I'm telling you, the process is hard. What we're going to do is easy. Getting rich is easy. Living free is easy. The hard part is the time. Getting through a week, getting through a month, getting through a quarter, a year, going through a half a decade, going through the decade. That's the hard part. Keeping the deposit. When it goes good, keeping the deposit. When it goes bad, keeping the deposit. That's the hard part. That's the part where you've lost more people than not. That's the part where people created and they liked it when they got to build. But then that the first sign of rain, they're like, I don't want to, they don't want to sit in the rain. But guess what? You build that up now, it's going to be easier to do it than later. That's facts. So this is what I want y'all to do. Are you ready? This is what I want for every young person. And guess what? Even if you're not young, this applies to you as well. I want you to measure your life. I want you to measure your life right now. Can you do that for me? I say measure your life. I'm wondering what you're thinking. Some of y'all might be thinking a lot of things, but can I bet you this? I say measure your life. How many of you are pulling out a clock? Right? We're talking about young guys. We're talking about youth. We're talking about dealing with it and creating. I say measure your life. How many of you are pulling out a clock right now? Put the clock away. Measure your life with a compass. Oh, I hope you feel me, bro. Measure your life with a compass, not a clock. That's what I need you to figure out right now. That's all you have to do right now. Do you get it? It's not about if you're too old. It's not about if you're too young. That's why, you know how many times the Bible has all these stories of young guys, old guys. It don't matter. Abraham too old. Timothy thought he was too young. Everybody got a story in there. That's what that whole book got. And you know what else it says? Do not despise the days of small beginnings. And you know what else it says? Do not despise the days of your youth. And guess what? It also tells you don't be looking back, oh, the good old days. Don't do any of that either. That's not how you measure your life. That's not how you create. That's not how you build. So this is for everybody. Measure your life with a compass. not a clock. That's why it's so important if you're young right now, and if you do it while you're younger, even better. But guess what? You do it when you're older, as long as the compass is in the right direction, my brother. That's the point right here. That's what everything we have created ever was. It's a compass. I hope you realize it. All been about, why do you think I keep telling you, don't change the direction? The rules are easy, bro. Just keep it north. You're going to get there. My question for you is, are you moving in the right direction? That's the compass. Your financial compass, your spiritual compass, your health compass. Are you going in the right direction or not? Because that's all that really matters, bro. You get it? You are either going forward or you are going backward. You're either going left and right. We've talked about the drift. That's all that matters, bro. You think it matters if you get ripped in the gym, you bald maxing, you look maxing? No. What direction are you going? Are you taking care of yourself forward, or are you going backwards? Are you staying in the same position financially? You think it's hard right now? You better start today. It's not about the clock. It's not about the account. It's about the direction. Because all those same guys, all the young guys, they had $5,000. Now they're sitting on 50. The same guys I met years ago, they had nothing. They got houses. And again, everybody's life is going to be different. Your challenges, your blessings, you name it. But you want to know what isn't? Direction. That's not going to change for any of us. What direction are you headed in? That is what matters. And that's why I'm saying, if you point your compass when you are young, my brother, all this shit don't matter. The world don't matter. What's against you, any of it don't matter. Because you're going to get there. Again, your spiritual compass, bro. You better learn the discipline. Start pointing in the direction of being able to deal with it or not. If you can't find joy right now, where are you pointing, bro? Because you won't have to deal with that too. Every single person in here who's ever had any success in it, whether you got into it earlier, I was just telling you, bro, some of y'all, you were 10 years old. For me, I was older, but I was still pretty young. But it's like, dude, I didn't even have that crazy money starting out, but I did have an idea. I did have a compass. Just pointed in there. I was just telling some of them the other day, Dodd-Frank, the real estate, it was a lot harder to get loans. You didn't have hard money and some of these other things the way you do today. You have a direction, you start pointing towards a crib, you don't need to have the money. Point in the right direction, watch what starts to happen. You have a calling, all of you. Stop getting a calling in your life and then saying, oh, well, this. Let's point the compass backwards. Why? I'm telling you, man. You know all of this. You think Philo, the Bible, every single part of this, man, all this life shit, all the YouTube, name whatever the fuck you want, man. Do you think I understand it all? I do not. You think I understand God fully? I don't. Why the world is the way it is, why things happen. You think I understand all that? What do you think I am? I don't, bro. But I definitely have a direction. I hope, and I think all of you do too as well. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to figure out everything. You don't need to. But you do need to be pointed in the right direction. You do need to say, this is where I'm going. If I was called to this is where I'm going to point it. It don't exist today. That don't matter, because I'm not going to stay here. This is where I am going. So, for all the young guys, and anybody else who ain't young, the real question is, what direction are you pointing? And it's time to start creating. And it's easier to do it when you're younger. But above all else, bro, it really does rely to that compass. And you want to measure your life, man? It's not in a dollar amount. It's not in a number. It's not in a time. It's not a clock. It is a compass. It's all about direction. You say, this is where I'm going to go, you're going to get there. But the longer you put it off, it's not going to change. So I'm still going to ask you this down the line. Guess what? Your future self is going to ask you this down the line. So I'm telling you, man, it's a very exciting opportunity. I could only imagine. I remember the times when I was young, man. I remember seeing all this stuff. I remember what it felt like. Again, it's not like we had everything handed. All you had to do is point the direction. And all the things I didn't really understand, bro, along the way of being pointed in the right direction, they all came. And I know every single one of you is going to have that happen. That's just how life works. That's really how it is. I would just be careful of falling victim to the compass. Of knowing where you need to go, having this idea, the fact that you even got here, and you're like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, wow, I see this. And then getting intimidated. Intimidated by it, not having, intimidated by there's too much, it's all this, and then pointing the compass backwards. Just get in the right direction. You get in the right direction, you're going to start creating. Then you start creating, you start getting in the habit, instead of running away from nothing, start turning something out of nothing. And once you learn how to do that a couple of times, that's why it's better to do it when you're young. Because when you do that when you're young, my guy, every other cycle is going to become a lot more easier. So, take that to the bank. That is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. And damn, point your compass, baby. You know that? Please, I beg you, point the compass. Point the compass. That's it, man. That's how you're measuring it. Little compass, a little creation. And it's better you're doing you got your face covered in mud right now than later, man. Because you will not be cast down forever. That's facts. Woo! Let's see.
Cornmeal. Hey man, I love y'all. It's a coat, baby. 2020. Ay, yeah. I ain't start a movement, I just got my people moving. I asked them what you doing, or the why you do it. We was moving hella clueless, but we did it like we knew it. You can see it, I don't prove it. If you beat me, I ain't losing, huh? I don't want the shit, you can have it back now. And if you want the drip, you can never back down. I navigate the road to wealth and pass the map down. It's kinda hard to hear the hate, cause I hit clap. Yeah, I ain't start a movement, I just got my people moving. I asked them what you doing, or the why you do it. We was moving hella clueless, but we did it like we knew it. You can see it, I don't prove it. If you beat me, I ain't losing, huh? I don't want the shit, you can have it back now. And if you want the drip, you can never back down. I navigate the road to wealth and pass the map down. It's kinda hard to hear the hate, cause I hit clap. Yeah, let me start this with a thanks and a fuck you. It don't matter what I say, just know I love you. It's not about what's coming out, but in your heart, fool. So I ain't care how you talk, I won't judge you. Cause they judge me, they said I must be a new religion or a color or a country, a dummy or a junkie. I'm humbly getting money, I'm different, don't be grumpy. I'm only showing love, G. So you should just chill, for real. I do this for my people out there trying to stack a meal. I ain't wanna be a leader, but I'm ready to be killed. Cause I cannot wait to meet them in the planet we're revealed. Damn, I told you that we different. Ain't slow but come up quickly. I know that don't sound sexy, I know that you're a little tempted, but this your intervention. You pay with playing time while they pay you no attention. I ain't start a movement, I just got my people moving. I asked them what you doing, or the why you do it. We was moving hella clueless, but we did it like we knew it. You can see it, I don't prove it. If you beat me, I ain't losing, huh? I don't want the shit, you can have it back now. And if you want the drip, you can never back down. I navigate the road to wealth and pass the map down. It's kinda hard to hear the hate, cause I hit claps. Yeah, they talking, but it broke through what broke through. If I'm shopping, only cribs and a whip too. But it's still the same Jordan shorts from middle school. I ain't flexing, I just show what priorities do. Got the wagon, no coupe, you getting mad at my fruit, cause it ain't happen to you. I look around at the room, these people trying to be cool. Like what this shit mean to you? Ain't got a lot of class, but they still acting high school. So tell me this, who you trying to impress? And if you don't achieve this, would it leave you depressed? And if they don't like you now, why you want their respect? And if you got one life to live, why you do it for them? So So please tell me this, who you tryna impress? And if you don't achieve this, would it leave you depressed? And if they don't like you now, why you want their respect? And if you got one life to live, why you do it for them? I ain't start a movement, I just got my people moving. I asked them what you doing, or the why you do it. We was moving hella clueless, but we did it like we knew it. You can see it, I don't prove it. If you beat me, I ain't losing, huh? I don't want the shit, you can have it back now. And if you want the drip, you can never back down. I navigate the road to wealth, it past the map down. It's kinda hard to hear the hate, cause I hit clapping. It's a cop, baby. Like, for real though, what are you doing this for? Like, ask yourself that.
Hey, Flash, turn this shit out.
It took a while to get here, told the daddies take care. You could ask my mama, been hustling since daycare. So I had a lot of time to get me all these haters. Talking God in every song because he showed me favor. But don't get it wrong, Tyrone, give me the maker, I'm a weirdo. Study coaches, ran the planet, learned the earnings in the balance. Serve a purpose, not a man, I'm a working in the famine. I learned working from the end, I'm the sickest motherfucker that you never seen before. I care about the final score, ain't worry about the leaderboard. What the fuck you smiling for? Start acting like you been before. I'm just trying to live my life, watch all the seeds I'm planting grow. Yeah, there's some shit you probably read about. Business and constituents, some words to make you sleepy, yeah. But I just made $1 million trading news up off the TV, yeah. I put that shit on YouTube now, the youth is trying to be me now. So, take notes and not granted. Stay woke and upstanding. Buy hope and sell panic. That's a lesson in disguise, so you might wanna rewind that. Sell it on the high, decay time, then I buy back. I'ma take it, it's flagrant, but take patience. I'm stalking, then waiting, then trade it. Support it or hate it. I love your engagement. I came from the basement, like Drake said. Started from the bottom, how I get here. Lots of risk management, I focus on the 10 year. All that matters what's not when, just patient till it get here. I'ma do this till I'm dead, I hope I'm making this clear. Feel me, you should kill me, otherwise pay me no mind. But if you wise, pay me your time up. Try to fly and pay the fine, do what you want, your life ain't mine. Ask my brother, ask my bitch, everything I take my time. You tryna ride, I'ma teach you how to move. When the only option losing, the environment is fools. Let me inspire what to do, give them some value, speak the truth. The shit I'm speaking, this ain't new. The way I speak it, make it cool. I dumb it down, I act a fool. I'ma kick this lesson in, this one encompass all of it. You only get one life to live. You blow it, then you dumb as shit. Money, you start coming in. Make sure you pay the government. Just learn the game, do what they say to teach you how to duck that shit. Yeah, I'm talking escorts, LLCs. This a loophole melody. Feel like I'm Pablo Medellin. I gave my people what they need. I told my God I had a dreamy life for real. You telling me you think it's coming that easy? So, yeah. Why you think I'm on my grind? I treat this life like it ain't mine. For that been beaten and despised. I've been seen, I've been admired. I've been angry all the time. I've been tired, uninspired. But that's the devil, he a lie.
Alright, baby, every hour, you know what to do. Ready? It's a call, baby.
Lucas.
They ain't do they push-ups, they just laid around. Started at 1 unit, now on the 10. I think you could do it, tell me how that sound. They said I was stupid, you should ask them now. Tell me what you had, now what you don't. Don't be getting mad, get some hope. I don't want a bag, I want a boat. I don't want it fast, I want it slow. Know exactly how the money grows. Cup is overflown, not withdrawn. Don't condone the bitch and moan. There's a bigger goal. Gotta get more homes for my bros and my moms and my motherfucking coat. Hope you watch the plan unfold. Yeah, I'm not seen but unforgettable. You got dreams, don't tell me, go and get it, bro. They got some nice things, that don't mean they always credible. Don't do the nice scene, that ain't me, I had to let it go. So, tell me what you holding on. I hold batons, I pass it on. You sprinting, this a marathon, a Farrakhan. Only if we talking million men that march. I stock computer screens, I made $1 million looking at some charts. Yeah, Easy said, but it's hardly done. No need your bread, but I tell you when them shots gon' run, I'm poppin', son. But I don't do this to be popular. I just prefer the hottest car. The crib is on the toppest floor. Collect the rent, I am landlord. I make a check when I get bored. Love what I do, my job is fun. I read the news and smoke a blunt. I'm woke as fuck. That don't mean I never been asleep. Be careful of the friends you meet, the different types of foods you eat. I use this fucking beat to preach, but they don't value us for free. My life is good, my God is great. So what's that even mean to me? Put that shit right in the door, but they won't even turn the key. So if you good, I'm good. Let's get this bread. You know I'm trying to eat. Beast, turn that mode on every time I wake. Validate myself, don't matter. Pay you what they say. I know I'm great, so I just thank them every time they hate. Hits I'll find my God divine. Get 10 for what they try to take.
Please, allow me to show you something.
Jimmy, man, it's a cup. 2020, baby. Straight up, man. I just hope you in the game.
I just hope you in the game. My bad.
Yeah,
I had to play you. I had to play you some classics, bro. Some of y'all were fucking like 12 when that shit came out. Now it hits a little different for you. Oh, excuse me. I had to eat too. I need to take some vitamins, bro. I'm sneezing. I don't know what the fuck is happening. So I needed food, or otherwise I was gonna poop everywhere. But we're back, baby. We are back. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. But I'm a couple more of those comments, and then oil. Market's still kind of going down though. What a little disappointment there. You know what I'm saying? That's a little disappointment. So we will see, my friends. We will see. I changed my AC filter the other day. I swear it's the gym, bro. It's literally the gym. Like, straight up all the time. All the time at the beginning of the year. I didn't get sick once last year. Do I really smoke blunts? I mean, Uncle that song is older than some of you, so back in the day, Uncle, I mean, you got to take that up with him, but me personally, no, I do not. I did when I was young, but yeah, you know, I think I have arthritis now. So I don't know, man. I do stretches. That's what I need. You know that, like a good stretch. Kind of feel the same, bro. It hits very good. You know, get those endorphins. So you got to do that, man. I don't know, man. It's just, that's the thing you guys got to realize. You guys got some, I think you call them unks now. I think you call them uncles, ironically enough. Like, there's Uncle Answers, but then I think some of you would call the 30, 35-year-olds, you call them unk. But then they were literally exactly in your shoes about 5 or 6 years ago. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a trip. So yeah, like they were bumping those songs, and then you were like 15, and then fast forward now. So it's just the same exact thing. That's why I really hope y'all, man, point yourself in the right direction. Get really familiar with creating something out of nothing. And you will, believe me, the doors will start to unlock, but you got to start now, and you got to start it while you're younger, because it is going to be a lot more difficult if you wait till the next cycle. It's only going to keep doing the same thing. That's the crazy part. And that's the best part too. You got to watch all of it kind of create a little bit. Where is it? I showed the first screenshot earlier, but like, this is what I'm in it. Oh, it was so slow and painful. So that account, the $200-300 a month account, like, look at that, that's $500. So imagine just how we're sitting here, and I had to show you it all. And right, it took about a year to get from 500 to 5,000, saving $2,000 a year. It was still a good year, but like, think about it, that took a year. And then another year to get to 10K, and you're like, whoa! And then you spend like 2 years not getting above 10K, even while depositing still. And then before you know it, and then in 2 years, you'll do the whole entire account several times over. But then again, the time is just going to go by like that. And that's why some of those guys, that was their setup, and that was enough to get them either in cribs, or They were able to get their jobs changed, their jobs get better, they save more. You're older now, you were paying attention, putting it to work early, and then one thing leads to the next. But it took time. Well, that's what I'm saying. They were your age, the 20 to 25. And it is kind of crazy because I guess if you are 20 to 25, you only have so many years behind you where you're like actually like cognizant of what is happening in financial markets and all of it, man. So it's good. Told you this 5 years ago and you the unk who didn't learn. Still good though. I mean, you're still probably in the 30s, which isn't bad. I'm telling you, I mean, you know, we got guys in here. That's why I do feel kind of bad. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I do think they're more mature enough. But you know, there was a group of people who were 30, 35, 6 years ago, and it doesn't matter. It's just about doing it. I think someone today was even saying, they're like, man, I wish I learned it when I was in my 20s. It's a lot. You get a crazier advantage if you're in your 20s. You really, really do. But even then, 30, 40, I mean, it's still, unless you plan on dying soon, I mean, you still got your time. Yeah, it's about the compass, not the clock. So I would encourage you to do it as soon as possible, because you just got to go through this. That's it. The timing of it. The market's going to do all this shit. The world is going to do all its shit. But you get in the habit of it now. Direction time. Amen. Amen. Excuse me. I got my vitamins, though. I'm still going to sadly work out today. I said, I'm going to play ball, so I guess I have to go to the gym. It sucks, though. I feel good. I'm just, like, sneezy. Maybe I got allergies. Do you get allergies in January? I thought that's spring. The Jeffrey Sachs speech? No. That's not the Bill Clinton thing, is it? I think that Bill Clinton thing's crazy. But no, we didn't go over the Jeffrey Sachs. Trump on allies in Iran, they should get out. I would love to see oil at $53 a barrel. What a very specific price. Oh, he's live right now.
And board chair Sandy Pierce. Thank you very much, Sandy.
Thank you
very much.
You remember, beginning of last year, we were getting him every fucking 10 minutes.
We have some very special people here. We have a man who's doing a fantastic job. I get angry at him every once in a while, but very, very seldom, because he's got what it takes. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Scott? Hi, Scott. Hi, Scott. What a good guy. He's got a good pulse, doesn't he? Good pulse of what's going on.
Hi, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. He's been great. Michigan House Speaker Matt Hall. Hi, Matt. We did good in Michigan, Matt. We won the whole thing in Michigan, didn't we, huh? 3 times we won. You know that, right? They didn't give us credit the second time, but we won the second time. But we made the last one, Matt, too big to rig. Right? That's what you got. That's the only way you win races in many cases. I got to tell you, it's too bad. I think they should get voter ID. Wouldn't it be nice? The Democrats are totally against voter ID. Who's against voter ID? How can you even campaign? We are against voter ID. How do you not get voter ID? You know what it means, Matt, right? When you're against voter ID, you want to cheat. That's all. There's only one reason you want to cheat, and they do cheat. They're terrible. Michigan Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Look good, Eric. State Senator Jim Runstad. Jim, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Former Congressman Mike Rogers, who's running for the Senate, and he'll be a great senator, and he's going to be a great senator. He was a great congressman, and then he left. He went on to very big things. He did well no matter where he was, and I think they took that away from you last time. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I really do. Don't like to get things going. I don't like to be controversial at all. But they rigged the election on you. Mine was too big to rig. You won. I'm telling you, you won. But you're going to do great this time. He's a great guy, actually. He's going to be an amazing senator. Thank you. Thank you for being here, too, Mike. Special envoy to Iraq, Mark Sevilla. Mark. Hi, Mark. Thank you. Great job you've done. This guy, he negotiates better than anybody around. Thank you. You need it. With Iraq, you need it. You need to be a good negotiator, Mark. I also want to thank Michigan's great congressional delegation. They're amazing. That's been back in
Federal
Washington
budget
due to a
deficit
very
narrows to
important vote that's coming
145
up.
from 173
They had a choice. Sir, we
billion.
want to be with you, but if we're not with you, we're going to lose. But we'll still be with you. I said, no, I'd rather have you win. Don't worry about it. So we're going to win the vote. Representatives Lisa McClain, Jack Bergman, John
629
Molinar,
billion.
Bill
And
Heisinger,
receipts
Tim
484
Wahlberg,
billion. Holy
John
shit.
James, and Tom Barrett. They're great people, every one of them.
MP selling
And
off.
as many of you remember, I came here
And
at the
fly.
height of the 2024 campaign to lay out my plan to bring jobs and factories and wealth racing back to the United States and coming back to the great state of Michigan. And just a few weeks later, the people of this state and the voters all across the country endorsed that vision in a landslide victory. We won everything. We won all 7 swing states. We won the Electoral College 312 to 226. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of... Oh, it's so nice to win the popular vote. I won the popular vote all 3 times, too, but we're not going to get into that. But the first time they said I didn't win the popular vote, but I won the Electoral College. So they always said, while he didn't win, this is the way I got introduced every time. While he didn't win the popular vote, he won the Electoral College, you know. So this is the way I was introduced for 4 years. And guess what? We said, I'm going back and we're going to win and we won the popular vote by a lot. So they can't say that crap anymore. And the thing that was most impressive, we won 86% of all counties in America, 2,700 to 525. Think of that, 2,700 to 525. And that's why when you look at the maps on Republican, Democrat, with red being Republican, as most of you know by now, I think. Every once in a while you see one where they have it reversed. I said, why would you do that? Well, we think it looks better. I said, look, red is Republican. Let's not try and change the voters' minds on things. Just do it that way. And the map was virtually all red. That was about the counties. That was the 2,700 to 550, I think is the exact number. Most importantly, we won a historic mandate to make America great again. And that's what we're doing. We're making America great again like never before. And now, after less than 12 months in office, this is the easiest speech to make. I have great people, and all I'm doing is spewing off what the hell we've done. Even Venezuela wasn't too bad, was it, huh? But you have people, Democrats, they say, I don't know if we should have done Venezuela, I don't know. Anybody that says that hates our country, okay? That was as flawless an attack as there has ever been. And they asked us to help them. They have 50 million barrels of oil. They said, take it. It's $5 billion. And we did. We're working with the Venezuelan people and representatives, and it's amazing. But that was an amazing situation. But we did al-Baghdadi, flawless. We did Soleimani, flawless. We did the Iran nuclear attack where we wiped out their nuclear capacity, which would have been very bad. You wouldn't have peace in the Middle East, flawless. We did them all flawless. I want to keep it going that way, too. I like flawless. Think about Jimmy Carter, the great Jimmy Carter, with the helicopters crashing, the hostages all over the place. Remember that one? Think about Sleepy Joe Biden with Afghanistan. What a disaster. The most embarrassing day in the history of our country, in my opinion. Real dope. Now, after less than 12 months in office, I'm back in Michigan to report to you on the strongest and fastest economic turnaround in our country's history. It's really been historic. There's never been, we're not 12 months, we're through 11 months. We've got $18 trillion.
This is the Detroit Economic Club.
The most of any country ever was 3. We're at 18. There's never been anything like this.
Real dope.
You are so lucky I allow you into this room to even be with me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The fake news will say Donald Trump thinks he's hot stuff. Right now I'm feeling pretty good, though, I will say. Oh, you're so lucky to be here. Under our administration, growth is exploding, productivity is soaring, investment is booming, incomes are rising, inflation is defeated, America is respected again like never before.
He died like
and
a
other than that,
dog.
we're not doing that well. Now think of all those things I just said. Every single inflation down, growth at an all-time high, stock market every day, 48 days in a row, 48 days during the course of 11 months, we hit a new high on the stock market, all of them. 1 year ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. That was said to me by many leaders. By almost every metric, we have quickly gone
Is this
from
a new
the
speech?
worst
I've never heard this.
numbers on record to the best and strongest
What
numbers,
up,
the most dynamic numbers, and an economy that is far ahead of even my optimistic. I had a very optimistic schedule, I thought. I didn't think it was, but people said it was very optimistic. Turns out to be very pessimistic by compared to what we've done. But we'll go down as the greatest in history, greatest first year in history nobody's ever had, just based on the numbers, based only on the numbers, not based on me, based only on the numbers. Because, you know, you get these guys like the governor of California likes to say how well he's doing. California's doing horrendously, but he says that, well, we base it on numbers. There's never been numbers like this. Through 4 long years before I took office, crooked Joe Biden and his allies in Congress inflicted the economic nightmare known as stagflation. How many times have you heard the word? We hit it with Joe. We hit everything. What a disaster. Meaning low growth and high inflation. How does that work? Not good.
Are they going to do
So you
a
have
Q&A?
lousy growth and high inflation. In fact, it's the lowest growth ever and the worst inflation in the history of our country. That is really tantamount to not having a good 4 years, right? In other words, Sleepy Joe and the people that ran the auto pen were a complete and total disaster for our nation. They were a disaster for our nation. Had they won the election less than 1 year ago, we would have been, as I've often said, Venezuela on steroids. Now I'm Venezuela's biggest fan. We're working with them, but they came down from a very high number to a disaster, a disaster. And we would have been Venezuela on steroids, and we're bringing Venezuela back, and we're going to be great for Venezuela, great for our country. We're taking in, as I said, millions and millions of barrels of oil, and now they're coming in initially on a daily basis, 50 million, and values of over $5 billion. That's in 1 day. Just think of it, the biggest ships in the world can take 1 million barrels. The biggest ships in the world take 1 million. We have 50 million barrels. We need 50 of the biggest ships in the world just to get it out. We're bringing it in to be refined. It's an incredible feeling. It's great. Winning is a good thing. We're going to work with Venezuela. We'll make that country very strong again. We'll get oil prices down even further. We have it down at about a 6-year low, 7-year low, but we're going to get it down further. Joe Biden gave us a colossal stagflation catastrophe, but my administration's rapidly and very decisively ended that. We have quickly achieved the exact opposite of stagflation. Almost no inflation and super high growth. So we have the highest growth we've ever had. Think of that. The highest growth we've ever had, and we've only been there 11 months. Think of what we can do for the rest of it. But do we have wood around here? I want to knock on a little wood. They have one little, everything's plastic nowadays. It's very tough. Now we have the greatest growth, and we have, inflation way, way down. But we inherited terrible growth, and we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. The fake news would say 49 years. So when I say the history, they give me a lot of time, but I believe it's the history. But let's say 49 years. Would you say 49 years is okay, right? It's pretty bad. What do you think, Mr. Senator, Mr. Future Senator? I'd say 49. What sounds worse, 49 years or history? I think 49 years almost sounds worse. Maybe I'll just use it and I won't argue with these people. As of this morning, core inflation for the past 3 months has been just 1.6%. The numbers we just announced just before I came on stage. And GDP is smashing expectations with the fastest growth for this country in many years. The fourth quarter is projected at 5.4%, and that's despite the Democrat shutdown where we lost at least 1.5 points. The Democrat shutdown, we would have had close to 7. Think of that, close to 7. They were projecting to, the fakers were projecting to. And if we keep deregulating and adding more capacity, like I saw today at Ford, And if we don't raise interest rates every time good news is mentioned. You know, in the old days, I'm probably old. I used to be up at these lecterns and I'd say, I'm younger than pretty much everybody in the room. Now I say I'm older than pretty much everybody in the room. I like it the other way better, actually. But you're too young. But in the old days, when you had good numbers, interest rates would go down. When you had good numbers, the market would go through the roof. That's the way we're going to make it again. That's the old-fashioned way. That's the right way. Today, if you announce great numbers, they raise interest rates to try and kill it. So you can never really have the kind of rally you should have. What happens and what we want, we're going to have a lot of great months, a lot of great quarters. I want the market to go up. You announce unbelievable numbers and the market goes down because they know you're going to do everything possible. In the Fed, we have a real stiff in the Fed, but that's for another day. But they raise rates. So everyone says, oh, they announced great numbers. It's great, great, great. And the market goes down because they immediately raise rates. No, when the market goes up, they should lower rates. You want to see 20% and 25%? You want to see what we can do? We've got to go back to an old standard. When there's good news, the market should go up, not go down. Does that make sense to everybody? And that's the way it used to be for most of the time. That's the way you make a country great. But our growth potential is unlimited and could be much higher if we went back to sanity. We're not doing it anymore. We're talking about the head of the Fed, and I want somebody that when the market is doing great, interest rates can go down because our country becomes stronger. See, you view it differently. Our country becomes stronger, and therefore interest rates should go down, not up. They kill every rally. If it's, no matter who, it's beyond me as president, it's no matter who's president. You have a good quarter, and they want to kill it because they're so petrified of inflation. And growth and inflation don't necessarily go hand in hand. You can have growth and very low inflation. In fact, oftentimes growth is good for low inflation. So we're going to work on that, Scott, right? I think we're going to work on that very hard. I mean it so strongly, it's sickening. We announce good numbers and we see the stock market drops 300 points. I say, what the hell is going on? Do you agree with me? It should be just the opposite. All right, Scott agrees, so I'm very happy about this. That means if he didn't agree, I wouldn't do it. But we're already growing double, triple, and even quadruple the speed of almost every other major economy on Earth. We're the #1 economy on Earth, too. And the results are in, and the Trump economic boom is officially begun. It's really begun almost from the beginning. Almost begun if you look at it really from November 5th. You know, on another metric, just before the election, it was almost impossible to get people to join the military. We had the worst enlistment in the history of our country, the worst. You couldn't get people for the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, Space Force, the Coast Guard. You couldn't get people. And since right after the election, but especially since after January 20th when we took office, we have now the strongest enlistment we've ever had in the history of our country. We've never enlisted people so quickly, so easily. And we enlist by merit now. You know, we won a Supreme Court case that said you hire by merit. You go to college now by merit. Everything's by merit. Our country became great because of merit. And we have done some job. But think of it, a year and a half ago, we had the worst enlistment in history, and now we have the best enlistment. Things like that don't happen. You might go from the bad enlistment to okay, but you don't go from the worst in history to the best in history. But that's what we've done, every one of them. And that includes police and firefighters. It was very hard to get police. It was very hard to get firefighters, and now everybody wants those jobs. In 4 years of Biden, they secured less than $1 trillion of new investment in the United States. So 4 years, less than $1 trillion. In less than 1 year, I've secured commitments for over $18 trillion from all over the world, the most ever for any country.
How many wars have you ended? End any wars?
Think of that, though. They did, and I'll tell you what. Had she won, it would be a disaster because you would have.
Do you guys remember when Joe Biden would say the same
$1
speech?
trillion, you would have had
and then
5
he would
trillion,
like stutter
10
the
trillion
fuck out of
leaving
it.
the country.
And then if you like
your
laughed or
welfare would
pointed
have
it out,
doubled.
people would get mad at you.
And you look at what's going on in Minnesota. Is that
at least he knows the same speech pretty smooth?
But we'll talk about that.
I'm
Under
down.
Biden, We had the highest trade deficit ever recorded, losing more than $1 trillion every single year. How about that? It was killing Michigan, and everywhere else in our country was being absolutely destroyed. But in a matter of months, largely because of tariff income and the election result, we've slashed that gaping trade deficit by, in a short period of time, 62, it just came out, 62%. People are stunned. The fake news back there, look at those cameras rocking and rolling. No, the fake news back there is, they're very upset about it, actually, but they're stunned. They can't believe it. We cut our trade deficit in actually 10 months was when the number came out. We cut it by 62%. It's going to go better than that now. The stock market is now the highest in history since the election. We've set all of those records, and I think an all-time record that's so important to me because so many people have them is boosting 401ks and retirement accounts for millions and millions of Americans, people that are in the police departments, the fire departments, people that are construction workers. A policeman came up to me recently, a nice guy guarding me. He was a perfect guy to guard me. He was a massive guy, big, strong guy. He said, "Sir, you made me look so good in front of my
Holy
wife."
fuck,
My
am
wife
I Trump?
Thought I was a horrible
That's how I
investor, 'cause
explain
every
Derek.
time I invested, we lost money. And we have a 401k.
I'm just like, Derek is big. Have you seen him?
She
Big
thinks
guy,
I'm Warren
massive
Buffett.
guy.
She thinks I'm
The
brilliant.
way he works
She's now
out.
calling me brilliant. She
Huge,
makes my life
huge.
much
He's been
easier.
big the
I
whole
love my
time
wife
I've known
much
him.
more now. She calls
Tall
me
guy,
brilliant every time.
fit.
I said, "Don't worry, you're going to do even better for the next 3 years." But one of the biggest reasons for this unbelievable success has been our historic use of tariffs.
Oil, Petrobras,
It was the
Tupi
tariff
Fields
that
hit
made
1
America
million a day
strong
in
and
production.
powerful
That
in
could be
past
it.
generations, and then we got
I don't
off
think
and
it's
we went
Trump
to the
talking.
income
I think
tax
it's
system,
oil
Rico,
numbers
fellas.
from,
You know, we
I
were
don't know where the
strongest in
Tupi fields are.
1887, relatively speaking.
Sounds like drugs, to be honest.
That was around the McKinley time, Teddy Roosevelt and some others, but we were really strong. It was all tariffs. And I know what happened. Some of these countries got together and they say, "Hey, convince the United States that it's no good, the tariff system is unfair to us."
What's up, baby? It's not about
And so
following.
some
It's about
genius,
direction.
who I don't want to get into.
As long as the direction in the right
Some
place,
genius said,
baby.
"Oh, let's go to an income tax system." So instead of foreign companies and countries paying
Is that in Brazil?
everything, the people
Tupi?
started paying. And then after that, you had a depression, but that was a long time. That was in like 1913, you had the tariff switched into income tax. And then in and they like to blame tariffs. You ever notice they blame tariffs? No, they brought tariffs back in 1932. They brought them back to try and save the sucker. But it was in 1929, because a lot of people, you know, the anti-tariff people. Now, an anti-tariff person is a pro-Chinese person, like Coke. This guy's fought me in every election I've ever been in, and I've kicked his ass. He inherited a lot of money, and I don't know the gentleman. But he fights me, and then he goes out and says, "I made more money with Trump than I ever made in my life." And then he supports these other people that were total losers. Gives them a lot of money. But he made more money. Everybody makes money with me. I always made money for people. Now it's tariffs that are making money for Michigan, and the entire country is stronger and safer and richer than ever before outside of that period of time. Now, if they had what was called the Great Tariff Act of 1887 or something like that, and it was a great group of people like yourselves, they picked really smart people to sit on a committee. They had so much money they didn't know what to do with it, and they wanted to have the money given away. You know, we built the Panama Canal out of tariffs. We did a lot of things. Panama Canal was the single biggest investment, relatively speaking, that this country's ever made. Would be the equivalent of trillions of dollars today. And Jimmy Carter gave it away for $1. It was also the most profitable thing ever built. In other words, like buildings or casinos or anything, the most profitable thing ever built was the Panama Canal. And brilliantly, Jimmy Carter thought the country of Panama should have it, even though we lost 36,000 people to the mosquito. You know that, right? To the mosquito and a certain snake, which was not a very nice reptile. This was a brutal reptile. You got bit, it was over. It was just saying, bye-bye, everybody. We lost 36,000 people. Malaria, the mosquito, and the snake. And he gave it away for $1. Well, at least we got $1. That's better than most of those guys do. We got $1 for that.
Yeah.
Most expensive thing ever built, most profitable thing ever built, too. Makes so much money. Every prediction the critics made about our tariff policy has failed to materialize. The evidence shows overwhelmingly that the tariffs are not paid by American consumers, that they're paid by foreign nations and middlemen. And Scott went over that with us before, and they're paid by middlemen. They raise the thing. Countries get involved. They pay them because otherwise they won't have companies. They won't be viable. And we're the big beneficiary. Once again, the so-called experts were 100% wrong, and Trump was right. People of Michigan were 100% right. You elected the right guy. If you had the other person, everybody, we wouldn't even be having a meeting today, probably. There'd be no meeting. The economic club would be saying, like, man, we're doing bad. It's going to be awfully tough to get people to show up. This is going to be tough, the chairman. This is going to not be a good day for us. We don't want to have... Let's cancel the meeting immediately. The Trump tariffs have delivered us...
I get what he's saying,
but
but he wanted you to know Biden don't fill the crowds, dog.
Minerals, rare earths, defense,
remember Biden wouldn't talk to us.
Artificial intelligence and historic levels of foreign military sales. You know, you have the Supreme Court now going to rule on whether or not we can use tariffs. Can you believe this? A case brought about by people that are China-centric. Foreign-centric, but China-centric. I wouldn't want it if I was China either. You know, China's one of our biggest taxpayers right now. China, would you ever believe you'd hear that? And they've been great. My relationship with President Xi has been great, but we have a group that's foreign-centric, China-centric, suing, and we'll figure something out if we don't win, but we should win. I mean, we should win. So great for national security. I ended 8 wars. Think of that. 8 wars.
Wow!
And without trade and tariffs, you wouldn't have been able to...
Never would have believed
any
that.
of them.
8. Look at that.
They brought hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into the United States Treasury, helped curb inflation, and helped cut the federal budget deficit by a staggering 27%, and that's only for a short period of time. The number's much bigger than that when you add in the full year. And I've told people I got into a lot of trouble because of the fake news back there. I told people, I said, tariff is my favorite word. I said, my favorite word of every word is tariff. I've loved it for 40 years. I came here many years ago. Remember, they said I didn't come here. Then they found out I did. I got an award in Detroit, in Michigan, many years ago, and still have it. They said it never happened. It did happen. Turned out I didn't notice any apology. But all I did was talk about you're losing your car industry. This was long before I ran for politics. They said you're losing. I said, why are you allowing these foreign nations to take your car? You know, you lost 57% of your car industry. The good news is you're getting it back. But I said, why aren't you using tariffs? I've been very consistent, I will tell you that, for years and years. Even as a private businessman, for years I used to, because I got, for whatever reason, a lot of publicity always. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it happens. And I talk about the importance. But I said recently, I said, tariff is my favorite word in the whole dictionary. There's no word. And I took a lot of heat. They said, what about your wife, your children? What about religion and God? What about Jesus?
Jesus.
So I said,
Jesus.
all right, it's my 5th favorite word. And since then, I've been fine. They hit me hard, these people, the fake news. They were killing me over tariff. He likes tariff more than his wife, more than religion. He likes tariff more than anything. What a disgrace. So I now call it number 5.
Jesus.
That was a rough day. It's my favorite word, and I got killed. Every word, you know, when you go up here, you take a big chance, especially me, because I go off teleprompter about 80% of the time. But isn't it nice to have a president that can go off teleprompter?
It is. We were just talking about that, sir. The crowd goes crazy.
Remember the speech?
Fuck you, Donald.
It lasts a matter of
I
seconds,
can read
you
it
know?
prompted,
much.
pride GPT.
You ever notice Joe would
Fuck
always
you.
cough before a speech? State of the Union, he gets,
What is he doing?
ladies and gentlemen. And then it would be like very short. Although the one time they had him spruced up pretty good, remember? He was
No, he
always
just turned into a dinosaur. Oh.
He was floating. He was
Welcome
up
back,
there,
Trump.
way up there.
Come on, give me
That
some
was a bad
policy, man.
speech.
Let me get some policy
But,
moves. Make fun of
hey, get through
Powell.
it, you know?
Come on,
Get
give me
through it.
something, bro.
Call it getting through. This country was so. Can you imagine allowing 25 million people into our country, many of them criminals, many of them murderers? What he did to this country.
Yeah,
what
that's
they
a new
did,
meme,
because it
bro.
was the people
That was
surrounding
funny
that
as fuck.
beautiful, resolute
I just
guy.
like, I could just, even with no
But
audio,
just
that
as
was
I
hilarious.
promised you that I've imposed a 25% tariff on all foreign automobiles, I'm standing up for the American auto worker like no president has ever stood up before. You know, those tariffs are keeping the foreign auto workers. Now, if they want to come in and build a plant and hire you and hire your friends and your neighbors, that's great. I love that. Let China come in, let Japan come in. They are. And they'll be building plants, but they're using our labor. U.S. auto factories are now seeing more than $70 billion of new investment. Think of that. They were leaving. They were all going. They were going in the opposite direction. Now they're pouring back. It's the greatest. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And much of that money is coming right here to the car-making capital of the world, Detroit. You lost, I mean, so many places. Since I took office, Ford has announced it will invest $5 billion across its Michigan and Kentucky plants, creating 4,000 new jobs. GM is moving production of the Chevy Blazer and Equinox from Mexico right back here to America. Right? Is my favorite auto worker here by any chance? You know who I'm
Who's your favorite
What
auto?
happens? Where's Brian? Brian, oh, I see. He made some cash. He's after Florida. Oh, he's been very disloyal to Detroit. We're going to have to... He is such a great guy, right? Man, that guy fought for me when it wasn't the popular thing to do. He fought for me from day one. Well, you tell him I said hello to him, all right? That guy, he got it. 4 years ago, he got it. Right at the beginning. He understood it better than anybody, better than the great economists. They had no clue. And Stellantis is investing $13 billion to expand its U.S.-based manufacturing plant by more than 50%.
Wow.
Stellantis doing a good job. Never before has an administration achieved such sweeping and dramatic turnarounds as has taken place just in this very short period of time. I mean, you're talking about 11 months. 11 months and you have a different business. 11 months and you're booming. I just spoke to an AI guy, and that's booming too. You know, we're leading China in AI by a lot. I'm letting them build their own electric plants because people are saying, you know, the amount of electricity they need twice as much as electricity currently in the United States for every other business, home, factory. They need double. So I said, we can't do that. And then I had the idea. When they build these $50 billion plants, I'm going to let them build, and they're already building big electric plants to take care of their plant. And any excess electricity, they'll sell it back to our country. It's an unbelievable, and therefore, we're going to build, I think if they really added, you know, you hear how much, and I have great respect for China, but you hear they're building a lot of electricity, but we are too. But we're having it built privately. They're going to own their own electric. They're becoming their own electricity producer. And when they heard this idea, they thought it was great, but they didn't take it seriously because they said it's too good to be true. But then they realized that I was serious. They were getting them 2 and 3 week approvals. They don't have to wait for 20 years before they get rejected. You know, in the old days, they had to wait for 20 years, and then they get rejected at the end of 20 years. Guys would give up their whole career trying to get one approval, and then they get rejected. In every aspect of our agenda, we're putting America first, and nothing will stand in our way. Nothing's going to stand in our way. Nothing.
Thank you.
So one of our top priorities of this mission is promoting greater affordability. Now, that's a word used by the Democrats. They're the ones that cause the problem. The one thing, they stick together. They don't have some of the people that we have. I don't know, it's a genetic thing. It's something in the blood. We got some real losers. Mostly great. But I wouldn't use the name Romney because I'm in his sort of territory. So I would never use that name. But all right, I'll use it.
They got some real losers.
They don't have a Mitt Romney that votes against everything. They don't have a Rand Paul that votes against everything. I got him elected twice. He was a stone cold loser. I went to Kentucky where I won by a lot. I did a rally for him. Then I did another rally. He won. Then I went the second time. He won. Then he votes against all the time. It's just crazy. I don't get it. Then you have Lisa Murkowski and you have Susan Collins. Disasters. And you had a gentleman from Indiana that I don't believe it, Todd Young, he voted against. And you'd say, why are you voting against? They can't give you an answer. They're unable to give you an answer. It's like, why are they against the attack on Venezuela? They're against the attack after they found out it was the most successful attack, probably the most talented, most brilliant tactically attack that we've had maybe in 100 years. And they're against it. Why? It's one thing if the attack failed. I'd probably do that too. Or change. I'd be in favor. Then if it failed, I'd say, I told them not to do it. That's what they do. But here we have one of the most successful attacks ever. And they find a way to be against it. It's pretty amazing. But it's a shame. And we have some others, but not many. We have a great party, but we have people, the Democrats, whether you like them or not, they stick together like glue. They have horrible policy. Thank God they have horrible policy. Because they're smart, they're evil, they're vicious, but they're bad policy. For instance, you could be a genius and try selling men playing in women's sport. You could be a genius, try selling transgender for everybody, open borders, let the world come in, let the world's prison population come into the United States, including all of the murders, 11,888. That's what we're trying to get out of Chicago and Minnesota and these places. So they stick together, which I admire because I'm a very loyal person, but they have horrible policy. Can you imagine if they had good policy? They were on this morning talking to all the reasons that men should be playing in women's sports. They had a football guy there, flag football. This guy was like 6'6", he weighed 290 pounds with zero body fat. And they had a few young women. They were the size of his leg. He wouldn't have had to run. He could have just walked. They couldn't have done a thing about it. 10 of them would have to jump on him that wouldn't have had any impact. I don't think he would have been like a fly. It's so ridiculous. It's so demeaning to women. It's so demeaning. Look at the weightlifting records. I mean, the record got beaten by 112 pounds, a record that stood for 18 years. 1 ounce they'd put on, stood for 18 years. Guy comes along, who was a poor lifter as a man. He was at the lower portion of the class. Comes along and broke the record by 112 pounds. Think of that. They fought for years to beat that record. How about the swimming records? I mean, you can go to sleep during the time the man comes in and the woman. You can go take a nap for a little while.
I didn't know he was going to bring this one up.
How about the long-distance race that took place not so long ago? Long distance, these marathon deals. They had top men, top women. The man came
do a
in.
push-up while homeboy
The woman came in 5
ranting
hours
away.
and 14 minutes and 36 seconds behind the man. Think of it. You're waiting. The man comes in. Now you're waiting 5 hours. What do you do if you're the parents? You go home and sleep for a while. Who the hell wants that? It's so demeaning to women, and who are great athletes. It's so demeaning to them, and it's right now in the Supreme Court. I can't believe it would even go to the Supreme Court. I mean, could you imagine 20 years ago talking about men playing in women's sports? They'd think you're crazy. Or transgender for everybody? If you said there will be no mutilation on children, that's one of my standard lines. We will not allow the mutilation of a child. Can you imagine having to say that 15 years ago? People would say, is that guy crazy? Of course we won't. But we're living in a different time. It's a crazy time we're living in. After real wages plummeted by $3,000 under Sleepy Joe Biden, real wages are up by $1,300 in less than 1 year under President Trump. For construction workers, wages are up $1,800. Don't forget, they were down $3,000. Factory workers over $2,000, and for many other workers, over $5,000. And I just gave the military, because we're doing so well, we're taking in so much money with the tariffs, I just gave them $1,776. You saw that, right? Did you see that?
Was that their bonus?
75. And I said, you know, if you had $1 more, it's 1776. They said, that was a good idea. We could afford $1 more. We gave them 1776. Meanwhile, grocery prices are starting to go rapidly down. Rent is down. Airfares are down. Hotel rates are down. Cell phone prices are down. And we're just getting started. But more importantly than going down, our growth is through the roof. It's way up. Among my first acts in office was to end the radical left war on oil and gas and stop the crusade to kill American energy, and frankly, to open up cars so that you don't have to have an electric car. I love electric cars. I think they're great. I like Elon a lot. I don't think he was too happy with my policy of opening it up, and I can understand that. But I've been saying it for 4 years. They wanted everybody to have an electric car in a very short period of time. There was no way to build the stations. There was no way to get it done. I want you to have gasoline-powered cars. I want you to have electric. I want you to have hybrids. I want you to have everything. Hydrogen, I don't know about. I'm hearing it's not testing so well. It's fine, except when there's an explosion, you're a goner. Now, have you heard that with hydrogen? One guy is trying to sell hydrogen, and I say, yeah, but, sir, that only happens 1 in 100. Oh, great. When it happens, they find the body like 300 yards down the road. So I said, I'll pass on hydrogen. Maybe there's something I don't know about, but is anybody in the hydrogen car business? Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in 17 states and under $2 in many places. We have some states it's $1.95, $1.99, $1.97. As we speak, these are gas stations.
That one into fruition.
Think of that. We have gas stations in the Detroit area where you can fill
it never hit $1.99
for less than
and then it did.
$2.30 a gallon, whereas 2 years ago it was $4.50, and in many places it was way over $5. Think of that, $2.30. You see it. That's like a massive tax cut, which we gave you under the great big beautiful bill, by the way. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. And with our extremely successful operation in Venezuela earlier this month, that number soon is going to go lower because we're going to have a lot more energy. We're going to have a lot more, as opposed to a country that's going to be totally shut down. No fuel, no gasoline. And it's, you know, they say it's got more than Saudi Arabia. Who knows? Got a lot. And by the way, to all Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions if possible.
That's what take over your institutions.
And save the name of the killers and the abusers that are abusing you. You're being very badly abused. If the numbers are right now, I hear 5 different sets of numbers. I hear numbers. Look, 1 death is too much. But I hear much lower numbers, and then I hear much higher numbers. But I say save their names because they'll pay a very big price. And I've canceled all meetings with the Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. And all I say to them is help is on its way. You saw that I put tariffs on anybody doing business with Iran. Just went into effect today. And I say make Iran great again. You know, it was a great country until these monsters came in and took it over. And it's all very fragile. What would have happened to us? I'm telling you. If I didn't win this election, what would have happened to us? In the coming weeks, I will be laying out even more plans to help bring back affordability. And again, remember, that's a fake word by Democrats. Prices were too high. They caused the high price. They never want to talk about affordability. They always go, this is an election about affordability. They say they caused it. But they're good at that stuff. They're good at that stuff. They're fake. And they're good at that stuff. It's an election about high prices that was caused by the Democrats and that I brought down a lot. And remember, when you see energy coming down like I brought it down, and gasoline coming down, that brings everything else down. It's so much bigger than any other factor. When gasoline gets to be $1.99,
bro, I paid
$7.91. Everything comes down. The donuts
$7.70 was my highest gas
purchase. The stove that makes the donuts, the whole thing, it all comes down.
2021.
And it's coming down much faster than anybody can even believe. And remember, though, I always say, because, you know, normally when that goes down, the world comes down. That's the bad way of bringing it down. Our growth is through the roof. So I always want to say that whenever I say prices are coming down, but our growth is going way up. 2 beautiful events, the exact opposite of the Biden administration. As part of those efforts,
maybe we'll buy Iran, Iranica.
To provide
that sounds
much
gross.
More detail about our housing
United States of Iran.
American who wants to own a home will be able to afford one. We have some great things happening with housing, as you know. You saw the $200 billion buy-in on bonds and mortgages. This will include a ban on large institutional investors buying up single-family homes all over the country and making it impossible for people to buy a home. And I've also announced that the U.S. government is purchasing $200 billion of mortgage bonds to bring down mortgage rates, and it's had a huge impact. It's already started. And just last week, the average 30-year mortgage dropped below 6% for the first time in many years.
6%?
Coming down very rapidly. And that's not with the help of the Fed. If I had the help of the Fed, it would be easier. but that jerk will be gone soon.
That jerk.
In addition, I proudly called for the credit card companies to cap interest rates at 10%.
That jerk will be gone soon.
Because they're getting 28 and 30% and 30%.
That's going to hit the wire. Trump calls Powell a jerk.
And it's unfair. The rates are way too high. To provide further relief to hardworking Americans,
Has he ever called him a jerk?
Confronting one of the biggest factors in
Usually
driving up
says
prices,
too late.
the monstrosity known as
I
the
think it's called
Unaffordable
an
Care
idiot.
Act.
A jerk is a new
Rick?
one.
It's Obamacare.
I kind of like that.
Unaffordable Care Act. Nope. Did anybody ever think of that one before? It's true. It's the Unaffordable Care Act. Obamacare was a gift to make health insurance companies rich at the expense of the American people. In particular, the so-called enhanced premium tax credits were a corrupt payoff to the insurers, whose stock prices went up more than 1,000% after Obamacare was signed. I want the same money I want it to go directly. Very simple. I want the money, those big amounts of money paid for by the government, to go directly to the people, so they can buy the health care that's right for them. They can negotiate.
Health care is dropping on that.
Health care savings.
Look, CNC and UNH on
buy
that.
their own health care.
Not too much, but it's reacting.
That's why later this week, I'll announce our health care affordability framework that will reduce premiums for millions of lower drug prices, delivering price transparency and demand honesty and accountability from insurance companies all over the country, all over the world, actually. Healthcare costs will come down very fast with my most favored nation executive order. We're doing most favored nation drug prices. When we would have drug prices stay the same, everybody thought it was great. They're going to be coming down thousands of percents. We're standing up to special interests and slashing prescription drug prices by 300, 400, 500, and even 600% and more. I mean, think of that. On that alone, we should win the midterms in a landslide. We're doing favored nations. The country that pays the lowest price in the world is the price that we're going to pay. And we got that because of tariffs, because I said to the countries they wouldn't approve it. The drug companies were tough, but they were fine. But they said the countries will never do it because you have a pill that sells for $10, you have to sell it for 20 or 30, so you'd have to double or triple the price of their health care there for prescription drugs. Ours would come down from $130 to $20. Theirs would go from 10 to 20, the world being a bigger place. And it was unbelievable, but the countries wouldn't do it, so I called the countries. I said, if you don't do it, then I'm going to put a tariff on you. And the tariff's going to be 20 times more than the cost that you're having to pay for fair health care. And every one of them said, sir, we agree with you 100%. We would be honored to do it. It was really rather amazing. We could never do it. So think of that. You have most favored drug prices. Your drug prices are going to go down like from $100 to $10. Nobody can.
Wow. Woo! I love the woo!
And we can't get the fake news to write about it. It's the biggest thing to happen in medicine. It's the biggest thing to happen in healthcare. And I cannot get the New York Times, I cannot get anybody to write about it. When we got it done and we announced it, it was on a page way in the back of the New York Times. Same with others. They don't want to talk about it. You know why? Because it's so good. It's the biggest thing to happen. Over the past 12 months, almost every promise I made to you right here in 2024 has been kept. I've kept all my promises and much more. I mean, I've given you much more than I gave you promises, and I produced much more than I said I was going to produce. I gave you the largest tax cuts in American history, cutting taxes across the board in the great, big, beautiful bill. And as I told you, I mean, who would have gotten you no tax on tips, as I said before. No tax, I said over and over again, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our seniors. Any senior should be voting for us because the Democrats won't do this. It doesn't work for them. We also made interest on car loans fully tax deductible so that when you go out and buy a car, if you have a mortgage or you get a loan on a car, you're allowed to deduct interest for the first time ever. That's never happened before. But only for cars that are stamped with the beautiful words, made in the USA. In other words, we're only letting that take place if the car is made like in Detroit or in the USA. Our tax cuts also provided 100% bonus depreciation on all new equipment and capital investments, meaning that for any manufacturer looking to bring production back to America, you can write it all off, everything, Not in 38 years, not in 44 years, in 1 year. You write the whole thing off in 1 year. That's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the big job producer. And I've cut an unprecedented number of burdensome regulations. We're number one in the history of our country in cutting regulations. I promise to cut 10 old regulations for every one new regulation. So if we put on a regulation, the only way I'll allow it to happen is if the secretary, like Scott Bessent, cuts 10 old regulations. But instead, last year we actually cut 129 regulations for every one that we put in. Think of that. So nobody's ever cut regulations like I have. I terminated the insane electric vehicle mandate and ended the war on internal combustion engines. Once and for all, those engines were gone. And some people like them. And if they like them, great. And if they like electric, if they like any form of propulsion, any way you want to propel your car is okay, except for a couple of them, as I discussed. I permanently stopped Joe Biden's ridiculous CAFE standards. You know what the CAFE standards are?
No.
They're standards that make it impossible for you to build a car affordably. They make it impossible for a car to really work right. The CAFE standards sound so nice. The CAFE standards, it's
gas is still mad
standards
expensive in
impossible to
Cali.
meet.
But I told
And
you,
we're
I went to
canceling the
Mexico,
EPA's absurd
and the
tailpipe
gas in
emission
Mexico is
standard, one of the
expensive.
worst
I was
ever.
kind of tripping out.
And I revoked the California emissions.
It's like,
waiver
how do I
exemption
blame
for
Joe
just-in-time
Biden Trump for
ministers
this?
regulating automobiles
It
all
doesn't
over
make.
our
Where is
national
AMLO? What's her
Boy,
name?
I have done so
What's
much
her
for
name?
the car
Sheinbaum.
industry.
Sheinbaum.
Nobody thought.
Who do I
nobody
blame?
thought it was
Israel?
possible to do this.
I didn't get it.
And that's why your industry, and not everybody's in the car industry. How many people are in the car industry in this room, in one way or another?
So Detroit,
That's a
Mr.
lot,
President.
relatively, it's not bad. Another urgent priority for bringing down the cost of living is to stop the colossal fraud that is bleeding American taxpayers absolutely dry. The fraud being committed by
W.S.
the
Holton?
Somali
Barely moved.
population in Minnesota. Have you heard of them?
Somali!
People? Is monumental. And California, Illinois, New York, and others are just as bad. Our country has been losing over $500 billion to fraud every single year, but those days are over. We have the best group you've ever seen assembled going after fraud. In Minnesota, we're cracking down on the Somali scams, ending the brazen and shameless theft of taxpayer dollars. Well, it's going on in Maine, too, with Somalis.
Oh, Maine.
You know, and they don't take our ships anymore. You know why? We hit them with the same missile that we used to hit the drug dealers coming in with the boats. You know, we have drugs coming in by sea down 97%. You've seen that? 97%. And we're trying we're really trying hard to find out who the hell is the other 3%. But we have them down 97%. And we're going to start hitting them by land, too. The hard part is done. By sea, nobody's coming. It hasn't been great for the fishing industry, however. Those that have a fishing boat, they're having a hard time getting customers. But you can't have everything. Nobody wants to go on boats. Nobody wants to go like 25 miles an hour. When you see a boat with 5 engines on the back of it going 65 miles an hour, and it's loaded up with hundreds of bags that you see cellophane.
Always been expensive in Mexico?
Typically, it's not fishing.
Dog, it's mad expensive in
How about the couple
Mexico.
of submarines we took down?
I was shocked.
We took out 2 submarines, and the Democrats say they were fishing. No, they were submarines. They were actually. They build a very fast. It's a drug-carrying submarine. They have a lot of money, and we took them out. And the Democrats claimed that they were fishing. We shouldn't ruin people's beautiful fishing journey. It's unbelievable what we have to go through. It's really a shame, actually. We froze it all, children's payments to those states that we're talking about, and we will now require proof of attendance in order to receive federal funding for child care or any of that. How about all these child care places in Minnesota where there is no children? They go there, they get paid millions and millions of dollars. The biggest operation in all of Minnesota had no children. And we pay millions of dollars. They're scammers. They're scammers. They always will be. And we're getting them out, and we're not going to pay them. We're not going to pay Minnesota. Right, Scott? We're not paying Minnesota any more money for any of that crap. It's a big scam. It's a giant scam run by an incompetent, crooked governor. He's an incompetent, crooked guy. And also we're freezing any and all welfare payments going to illegal immigrants that will start effective immediately. So when illegals come into California, Gavin Newsom, they come into California and they send us bills for people coming in. We're not paying it. So we're working on that very strongly. Just don't pay it. As Nancy Reagan would say, just say no. You remember Nancy Reagan? Just say no to drugs. It's a little more difficult than that, I guess, right? Just say no. Additionally, from this moment forward, if you're on public assistance like almost all Somalis are, did you see where 94% of them are on public assistance? You can't wire money out of the country back to your bank account from where you came. But more importantly, we probably aren't even going to give them the money anymore, the money going to them, because of the tremendous abuse and probably illegality being perpetrated on our country. We're not going to give them the money. We're not giving them the money. It's massive numbers of people are scamming our country. You know, they came from a place with nothing, and they come here and they drive around in Mercedes-Benz. You know, the Mercedes-Benz dealers do well in that area of Minnesota. Can you believe it? They have nothing. They get welfare payments, and they have Mercedes-Benzes. It angers me so much, but we're going to straighten out our country. This was done under Biden and Obama, very much under Obama. It all started under Obama. And we just can't. We've got a great country. We're not going to screw it up. But this was one of the great scams ever. They have the same thing, Somali in Maine. Who would think? I never saw that happening. But in Maine, it's really crooked as hell too. But it's not just Somali. It is them, but it's not just. There are many other places, many other people. The whole country. If we stop this fraud, this massive fraud, we're going to have a balanced budget. That's how much money you're talking. We'll have a balanced budget without all the growth I'm talking about. And then you add the growth, we got one hell of a country. We're giving 90-day notices to places like California, Scott. Right away, we're going to send out that notice. Who would bill the federal government as people poured into the state to send those people back, because no country can afford to do it. No country can afford to take in millions of people, pay for their education, their health care, their hospitals. You just can't do it. And we all have a heart. You can't do it. But many of those people are murderers. They're people released from jails, prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums. They're people that are drug dealers. They're addicts. Additionally, starting February 1st, we're not making any payments to sanctuary cities or states having sanctuary cities, because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens, and it breeds fraud and crime and all of the other problems that come. So we're not making any payment to anybody that supports sanctuary cities. We have also suspended nearly 8,000 SBA loans, Small Business Association loans, to suspected scammers in Minnesota, of which there are many. It's a great state. It was a great state. Now it's getting destroyed by that stupid governor. What a stupid guy he is. But he's a crook. I mean, he's an incompetent guy, but he's a crook. He allowed this to go. You can't have corruption on a scale that nobody's ever seen before, and you're sitting as a governor and you don't know what's going on. It's impossible, even though he's a stupid guy. We're investigating large-scale visa fraud, and the Department of Justice has already charged nearly 100 people in criminal conspiracies in Minnesota. They're all over the place. Last week we announced that I'm creating a brand new division at the Department of Justice, a legal strike force led by a really tough, smart new Attorney General for fraud. He's a fantastic young guy. He's so impassioned to do this properly. We intend to imprison any fraudster, politician, or public official involved in these sick plots to loot and pillage our country. Think of that Ilan Omar. She lives in Somalia. They don't have a government. They don't have a military. They don't have police. They don't have anything. All they have is murder and robbing ships, bringing in ships, pirates. That's stopped. Same missile, ping. That's the end of them. It's amazing how that can stop corruption. Those missiles, they never miss, you know. The same one, exactly the same one. But think of it, she comes from a country with nothing, and she comes here and she tells us about our Constitution. I have a constitutional right to rip off the country. I guess she's a total scam artist. Anybody knows it. How do you let her get away with it? AOC +3. She was one of the 3. They're all scammers. They're so bad for our country. They're so bad for our country. Our ICE operation in Minnesota,
what do you call
for
her?
example,
Elon?
is finding
Ilhan
hundreds of
Omar.
killers, violent predators, and child rapists, some of the worst criminal offenders anywhere in the world, murderers all over the place. All we want to do is get them out. Did you see the pictures that we put up? Hundreds of them. Murderers wanted for murder, wanted for the worst drug selling. One of them is one of the biggest drug dealers in the world. And vicious, sells bad drugs too. Bad drugs, like if you take a tiny little morsel, your child is dead. And we're getting them. But it's hard to get them because they make it so impossible for you. And you wonder why. Why would they do that? You know, do they want to live with murderers? Do they want to live with these people that are emptied out from prisons? They have a lot of people. One of the reasons I was so angry with Venezuela, they emptied their prisons almost entirely into the United States of America. Tren de Aragua was the gang. One of the worst, probably the most violent gang there is anywhere in the world, they say. We're getting them out. We've got a lot of them out already, but we're getting them out. We're also going to revoke the citizenship of any naturalized immigrant from Somalia or anywhere else who is convicted of defrauding our citizens. We're going to get them the hell out of here fast. And if you come to America to rob Americans, we're throwing you in jail and we're sending you back to the place from where you came. We're throwing you right in jail. And they know it too. And one of the reasons they're doing these fake riots, I mean, they're just terrible. I mean, you see it's so fake. Shame, shame, shame. You see the woman, that's all practice. They go practice. They go to areas, they take hotel rooms and they all practice together. It's a whole scam. We're finding out who's funding all this stuff too. We pretty much know. But in conclusion, as we liberate our country from this cultural scourge and the plague of corruption and fraud, we'll rediscover the natural energy and native spirit that truly makes America great again, like we're doing with Detroit and Michigan. If we get rid of fraud and do our job properly on the trillions that are being extorted out of our country from corrupt and incompetent governors like Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, and Tim Walz, we will very soon have a balanced budget, and that's the kind of money that we're talking about. We're talking about massive amounts of money. Our country wasn't built by people who tried to lie and cheat and scam their way to success. It was built by legends like Henry Ford, Henry Dow, Thomas Edison, the Kellogg brothers, Alfred P. Sloan, the founder of General Motors, men who lifted up American workers and strengthened our nation beyond even belief. And we're doing the same exact thing right now. I think we're doing it even better. This is the fierce spirit of patriotic free enterprise that we're now unleashing once again. We are unleashing it like maybe never before.
It was a Detroit Economic Club.
Together we have turned the page forever on the failed left-wing model that makes our America poor, desolate, and makes people feel sorry for us. That's what we had. We had a country where our leader was laughed at and our country was scorned. We had a country that was laughed at. They laughed at us. 2 years ago, they laughed at us. They thought we were fools. They thought we were stupid people. Now we're seeing that they're not the smart ones. We are. But we have a great America, and we're going to enrich it. And foreign nations, foreign migrants, criminal fraudsters, and corrupt politicians are not going to play a role anymore. They're going to be in jail. Under the Trump administration, we're reclaiming America's dignity, rebuilding America's wealth, and we're putting the productive, hardworking American citizen at the center of every single thing that we do. They were the ones that built America, and they will build it up again, and that's what they're doing at levels nobody thought was possible. So today, after less than 1 year, our border is secure. Remember, they talked about the border, how bad? In 3 weeks, I didn't go to Congress. I said, secure our border. And they did. Remember Biden, he said, I have to get approval from Congress. Had nothing to do with Congress, had to do with respect. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our economy is booming like I think you'll see soon, like never before. Our military is strong and unprecedented. I rebuilt our military in my first term. Our workers are thriving and our auto industry is returning to the country where we all began and where it all began, and frankly, a country that we love.
Biotechs are
The
ripping.
United States is
you're
winning
still doing
again,
the
and
rotation
we're
from
rapidly
earlier.
making
Russell's the only
America
one that's
and
up.
the great state of Michigan greater and more prosperous than ever before. I want to again thank the Detroit Economic Club. You do a fantastic job, so respected. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Better than dance. Come on. Come on. Oh, long time, long time. I don't know if he's gonna do Q&A. That I wasn't expecting it to be that long. Again, we just started seeing the headlines. I mean, remember last year, man. Last year, January, you would get this guy every day, every other day. There it is. Ah! Thank you, everybody. God bless America. Go Tar Heels. Is that, no? Detroit Lions? Roar. The Joe Biden impersonation. Oh, no questions. No questions. Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless America. God bless America. Ba 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 ba. All right, man. Well, it's Power Hour. Damn, he ended right at Power Hour. I'm telling you, they don't even power at Power Hour. They kill every Power Hour. That's why we're installing new nuclear reactors to fund AI, power it, and give you Power Hour. So yeah, he ended right on the clock. Is that why? Does he have to go for a certain amount of time? Did he just take it to like right at the cutoff? Because he ended perfectly almost at Power Hour. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. He said stuff on the healthcare. Everything else, I mean, you've heard a lot of, and you know, he kind of recaps it. You're gonna get a lot of that here coming into the midterms, but UNH and CNC moved down a little bit. Oh, well, that was fun. Market held the low, man. You had the big drop in the morning. I was all off the Iranian oil, a little bit of the fear. Then you bounced a little bit on the Nvidia stuff and then came right back down. And I said it earlier, you're kind of rotating here. So a lot of, damn, that's another 88% day on damn Intel. But yeah, you are starting to climb up here a little bit, my friends. So yalla. But what a day. What a day. It was a little disappointing. I thought it was going to be more active with some of the data, but then again, maybe we bring that into tomorrow, Wednesday, middle of the week, man. So we've been going through our first full week here, so it's not too bad. I mean, Monday was pretty exciting with all the drama, but the move was a little muted. Today you got the data. It was pretty active. I mean, again, it may be disappointing to some stretch, but you know, you got a lot of things to focus on. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be looking out for oil and Iran and all of that, and then we'll see where the metals and a couple of other things play into it, but not too bad. And then tomorrow, is it like PPI data? I know we have some PPI industrial data, and then a lot of Fed speakers, but we haven't heard them here in a minute. And then he called Powell a jerk. You know, I think I was waiting to hear what the Fed chairs or the other Fed people have to say about Powell, but I think we got a new one from Trump. He's a jerk. That jerk. Iron going up. Equigs. Intel, man. Remember that 47-49, or is it like 51? Well, yeah, that was another good day. You email me a real estate deal in Michigan? Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he got a steal on it, but if it's already listed, we're probably gonna let that one run. So if it was off market, but then again, I don't like when they buy them cheap like that, and then he bought it, he got a really good price in 2025. But then trying to sell it for triple the price in about 3 months, I'm going to have to say no deal. What the fuck is happening with this property, actually? Is everybody okay? What happened on this? This is the weirdest property history I've ever seen. Are you guys ready for this? Listed for sale, $434,000 in May of 2025. June 6th, they lower it to $424,000. July 15th, they remove it off the market. July 29th, they put it on the market for $445,000. And then in August 5th, it sells for $89,000. And then August 19th, it's listed for $434,000. 9/11/2025 lowered the price to $420,000. And then in October 2025, sold for $130,000. And then listed in January 9th, 2026 for $375,000. So yeah, unfortunately, I would not even come close to this property. It's too messy. I have no idea. The house sold twice. The house sold twice for like $90,000 to $100,000, and then it couldn't sell at 4 or 3. And that's all in like what? That's since when we bought. That's like 6 months, 8 months. It's kind of nuts. So yeah, man, I wouldn't. I'm not too down with that, unfortunately. But I wish him the best of luck. It looks like a nice house. That's why I don't know. I can only imagine what that is. But that's something too for all of you. If you guys ever look at a property and you see a property history like that, I would be very, very cautious. Those are usually not going to be your type of deals. The fire sale for $370. The liens are $93 and $130. Oh, but then do you have to pay back the loan? I mean, just tell them to sell it to Open Door. But yeah, I mean, it's too that's a lot of drama. That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, like if houses were selling for a lot of money right now, I would be down to do it, but I mean, just tell them to take it to Open Door if it has liens and all of that, but I don't think there's enough equity. And then the fact that the last 2 sales of it, they were just way too low. And then if it wasn't getting that traction at the other one, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't really. I just sell it to Open Door if he's down. About to get your Cali real estate license. How can you make deals across the country? Well, we know a lot of agents, but you could buy and sell houses wherever. I mean, being an agent in that area will just kind of get you a discount. And then again, you have to know the laws. Like, like Ohio, you need like lawyers to do it and shit. Ohio's like a weird state. I think Jersey's a little weird one too. But yeah, it's you got to you could buy anywhere and you could sell anywhere and rent it, but you could represent yourself as an agent wherever you're at. Location. I think there's only like 2 spots in America that are still like, you buy a house and you could list it and then just sell it for 30% higher. Let me see. Industry. What time is it? 12:09. Real-time housing. Saks Global expected to file for bankruptcy imminently. Finalizing 1.7 billion planning. Yeah, Jersey's still up. Oh, dude, San Diego's at the bottom of the list. That's because it's by the border. Wait a minute. Minneapolis? I didn't realize Minneapolis was low-key booming too. Oh, is this not... Oh, I guess we just started January. I'm like, why doesn't this data show me 2026? Hey, you're impatient, Joshua. That's why. That's why it doesn't show. So yeah, here's real estate. I mean, like I'm saying, New York is still popping. But again, this is how you kind of closed it out. There was a lot of places that gained, but like anything below here, all of these were unchanged. And then literally like San Diego and I believe Boston were some of the worst areas on the year. But then like this is Jersey. Who's the blue one? The blue one's Cleveland, Ohio. That's all. I was even Cleveland was ripping middle of the year. I was telling some of y'all, you're better off buying a house in Ohio than fucking Venezuela. Chicago didn't do too bad. You have some gains surprisingly. And then Detroit was like right there. They advanced a little bit, but it wasn't like super hot. So that's the good sign about Detroit. And then, oh no, that Boston and then San Fran are here, and then they all go negative. But yeah, I can't wait till this updates. We'll see as we move more through this in this year. You're buying a live-in flip fixer. What do you think about Houston or Austin? They're both decent, just high property taxes, and you just can't, like, just don't be a jackass. You know, the way you're going to be a jackass in real estate is, like, avoiding comps and looking at a house that, like, you know, every house in the neighborhood sells for, like, $300,000, and then you're like, yeah, it'll sell for $500,000. Like, that will not happen anymore. It's a different world out there after the last, which is good. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot better. But yeah, as long as you know, if it's like a $300,000 neighborhood, you get it at a discount, and you know, make sure you factor in your costs, and that's usually the other big part when it comes to like fixing up a property. You'll make money, but if you ignore some of the obvious valuation stuff, that's how you wind up in trouble. So other than the taxes, I mean, I think they're good areas. I know a lot of people like living in Austin. Somebody was telling me the other day, they were like, they have a house that they could get for practically, I think, free or a discount from their parents. But then they're like, I want to live in Austin. And they said they don't want to move into the house that their parents would hook them up with, but they wanted to live in Austin. And then they were like, I will love the city. They love everything about it. So, and then Houston, I know some people who've been shot in Houston. So I don't, but it's if you do oil, Houston's a great place to be. Or if you're into like crazy nightclubs and you don't mind a little ratchetness, you might like Houston. But so it really depends on your vibe. It's all up to you, man. But for the most part, I'm really just concerned with valuation, and that's really what would be my driving factor. Some areas in Ohio are dropping. It ended the year good, but it started off really, again, Ohio was one of the Ohio beat Jersey most of the year. So Jersey was on fire. That was like 24 to 25 was Jersey. And then Jersey came out the gate this year, even when things were slowing down. Jersey started off the year very, very good. And then literally Ohio took over. Oh, did I close it? Yeah, but Ohio was actually was the best market last year. It was cheaper, more affordable. You had a lot of good opportunities there. California is kind of shit. Again, all the tax shit, all the border. Because again, the border demand in California fell off. That's the same thing with Texas. So whichever areas in Texas are closer to the border, they're not going to go up as much. You have way more supply, and then you don't have as much demand. That's literally what happened. As we were kind of talking about it with some of the border drama last year. A lot of people don't like to admit it, but if you go and look at it, I mean, you'll see the data. Anywhere close to the border has struggled real estate wise because, you know, people are worried about whether it's ICE or the money being pulled back and then different demand changes, all of that. It has led to a real effect. Houston does have it. Do you guys have Pastor Joel? You got Joel Osteen? Wow, Houston. And well, I just want to say, we love you. He remind me of George Bush, kind of. Can appraisal versus market value be very different? Yeah, 100%. Appraisals are just so if the banks, you know, most of the time appraisals just so you could get the loan. But yeah, market values are, I think more people are being more conservative, but I have seen cases where that comes into play. A lot of times appraisals are just kind of finagling to get the loan. But I wouldn't be like overly confident. So like if you get a high appraisal and you're like, yeah, my house is worth this, I would just go look at the market. That's the whole idea there, is you got to really confirm it. You're in Houston, but your company does both. You do restoration and mold. So I'm down with the crazy home to rebuild. If you're comfortable with both places, I would just get wherever you could find the best deal. Because then that's going to be where, you know, if you're down to live anywhere and you don't care about the social scene, you don't care about, all you care about is, you know, so a little bit of wealth moves, and you want to actually work on the crib, then I would just find wherever you could get the best deal and go at it and have some fun. Oh yeah, Ohio has a lot of seasonality because it snows. You guys got cold weather and shit. So yeah, cold weather isn't good for real estate. People aren't like, oh, let's go look at homes in the snow. I would love to slip down a staircase right now. That sounds exciting. Oh, it's negative 20 degrees. Awesome. This will be a lot of fun. ZoneSeb, Peblib Biotech, and Novartis signed worldwide license. Oh? Who's Zonsen? Zonsen. I don't know if it's public. Iron's going up here, and then Intel chilled out, and then we got about 43 minutes remaining, Chattadonia. So, Rapparooney, Marathon Petroleum overhauls Galveston refinery. You got that weird oil move on the gas field shit. That one's surprising. Or the oil discovery. Columbia, South Carolina. I don't know if it's a good place to live. I know Charleston. Anybody I've met from Charleston has tried to get me to move there. And they're like, literally like, move to Charleston. You'll love it. They say it's better than North Carolina. And then you get a beach. And then you get the Southern hospitality. You're a stone's throw from either Miami or New York by plane. But yeah, most people love Charleston. I don't know about Columbia, though. I do know another Columbia, but that's only for the balding guys who can't find a wife in America. But thank you. I'll be here all week. I think y'all still just go outside and get a crib, and you will be good. Thank you. Point yourself in the right direction. Start sooner than later. Thank you. ONDS. On this. It's going to be 30 degrees on Monday in Florida. It's terrible. I don't like the cold, bro. I can't do it. Yeah, buy in winter, sell in summer. Dude, 100%. I still think, though, you got to be, like, smart and wise in this market where you just can't be, like, overestimate a lot on the sales price. And if you watch out for that, you're going to have a good time and you could take advantage of all the people worried about the market right now. But, yeah, that's a good strategy. Buy in winter, sell in the summer is a great idea. Because then that way, in the cold places, Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, all that, You buy it cheap. If you get a good deal, get that thing listed by like February, March, and it'll be a good, maybe really March, April. And there you go. Colombia is nowhere near the beach, unfortunately. Oh, no way. So yeah, I don't know. I've heard of Colombia, but I don't know anybody there really, unless some of you are out there. Sounds like your kind of jam. The Colombia, like Bogota, like what is it, Bogota? I mean, shit, just don't get robbed and killed. That I think you should maybe go to Brazil. I've heard very good things from Brazil. I've heard people say you got to visit Brazil, especially if you're like a single American guy. But that's just for the passport bros. So, I mean, listen, I imported my girl from Europe, so it's a little different though. You had to. Never mind. I'm about to say taxes and shipping, you know, but she's cool. That's what it sucks, man. I love America, and I think America's great, but I don't know if I could deal with American women in 2025. They're all a little cuckoo. I have sisters. But then Texas. Why don't you go to Texas? Now now that I take that back. Texas. You know that? I feel like there is some fine women in Texas. I think there are some nice, normal women in Texas. I'm in California. So, yeah, it's that's it, man. Just go to Texas. Just go to Texas or go to Europe. But I think Texas before you start traveling abroad. Cuz I ain't even had to go, bro. So, that's why it's just America. Woo! Columbia is a college town? Oh, no way. That sounds familiar. What college there? That does sound a little bit familiar. And then Spy's going lower here. We got 40 minutes, but again, it's all the same range from the morning. Get ready, though. You'll probably get the final move setting us up into tomorrow. And then the overhang for tomorrow is going to be really about the Iran stuff. And then we'll be on the lookout for whatever we get in terms of like policy surprises. Columbia is whack. You live in Charleston. Yeah, you live in Charleston, bro. Everybody loves Charleston. It's amazing. But what college is in Columbia? Like Pablo University. No, I meant Columbia, South Carolina. No, South Carolina is nice. It's bougie. Charleston is bougie. They got some like ballin' ass shit out there. That's why. My girl even wanted to go to Charleston. She's like, let's visit. Oh, dude, I didn't even tell y'all. Chad, you guys want to know something about me? I have a new fondness. I wouldn't call it an obsession. But like something has really like I don't know if I could call it a hobby, but like I have fondness is what I'll call it. Guess who I'm obsessed with now? I'm not too obsessed. It's a musical artist that you would think I would have listened to it, but I never really listened to it. And I started listening to it, and I started just like, I don't know. We watched one of the movies, and then I started looking into homie. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this guy. I'm fascinated. And I like listen to his music and I love it. Who do you think it is? It's so funny. It's actually, I can't believe I didn't. 50, I know 50 Cent, bro. Dog. I think I got beat for singing 50 Cent when I was a kid. I said, bottles in the club, mama, I got what you need. We out here making love. I got slapped for that, bro. I got slapped for 50 Cent, dog. So you a gangster, but you never pop none. Nah, bro. Yeah, no, I know 50. I know all about 50. You know, on my girl show, have you ever seen the guy who does jazz, 50 Cent? And he does jazz out of rap songs. So there's like a Many Men jazz freestyle. Have you ever heard that? It's beautiful, honestly. Have you ever heard it? Yeah, listen to it. Have you ever heard this, bro? This is beautiful. This is beautiful, bro. It's an absolute banger.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. They want to take my life away. Many men.
Yeah, bro, banger. Go look it up. Ben Dunhill. That's the jazz cover. Bro, it's fire. Absolute fire. Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. No, bro. Are you ready for this? Justin, I already fuck with Justin Bieber. Dude, did you say Michelle Obama? That's a good one, dog. That's a good one, man. Shame on you. That's a good one. Oh, dog. He said Michelle Obama. Oh, okay. Composure. Dude, Elvis damn Presley. I love, I've never really listened to Elvis music. And then we watched one of the movies. I only watched like half of it. And I started looking into it and I was like, what? He made movies? And then I just wanted to hear it, bro. And I was like, I've never really listened to Elvis songs. Yeah, I've never listened, I've heard random ones that were ever used in movies, man. Yeah, bro. And then I started going into that. And I was like, holy shit. Damn Elvis Presley. And then I went on a 60s rabbit. I listened to some Johnny Cash too. I actually enjoyed it. I was surprised. But I like the 60s music, man. You know that? The 60s music was untouchable. No, we watched half the Elvis one. We're going to watch the Priscilla one. I think that's another Elvis one on Netflix. But I went down the rabbit hole already. And then my girl tried to show me some other stuff. Because, I don't listen to, I don't know. Surprisingly, I don't have, I don't know the OG American music or even, the Beatles. I haven't really listened to the Beatles. I know Queen. I know a little bit of Led Zeppelin, but that's about it. But other than that, man, I'm kind of an Elvis fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I'm low key becoming an Elvis fan. He's a trip, dude. He's a trip. Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eyes, dog, and I can't see. I just searched Many Men jazz version. This is amazing. I know the 50s to the 70s. It's so they have such good beats and they're so happy sounding. So yeah, it looks good. Spy Diddy just hit a new low. I mean, got 30 more minutes later. Many men. Yeah, bro. Elvis. I'm kind of mad we couldn't get to see Elvis perform. I think I would have went. And then his Vegas, everything. He was a trip, dude. I know, that's why I watched half. We didn't finish it. But that's why I was interested. I was like, holy shit, this guy's a trip. He did live a pretty tragic life. And then he's funny as fuck though, the shit that he would say. He's low-key insane. That's why I was like, holy fuck. But yeah, he was he was big into the drug. It's sad. He just did a bunch of drugs, so he died pretty early. VKTX speculation after strategic inbound interest. I mean, dude, we've got a biotech rumor every fucking day, low key. Do I play Texas Hold'em every now and then? Yeah. You're the bit. Was it the Elvis? Is that why you're like, you know what? I like Josh now. He likes Elvis. But no, I really do like Elvis now. It's kind of crazy it took me this long. I've known Elvis my whole life, but I've never really known Elvis. JPM takeaways, VKTX. was that other one, like FHB or whatever? Then Illumina. What was it? I think Allegiant. One of them moved, but yeah, pretty dry. We got one every hour, and then they kind of snap back. And yeah, low ticker's still just climbing on down, brothers. All right. Unfortunately, I need to go to the bathroom. So follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. God bless you. Are they talking biotechs? Oh, just dude, they're crazy.
Based on what we're...
Yeah, BRB.
Now, certainly, the hope, Scott, is that this really nice economic bullishness that we are will help all of this.
Well, that's why
when you say
spreads should widen more, I was going to say might widen more, and then you went to the payoff of the economy. If the economy remains as strong as people, including yourself, think it will, then we won't have a credit problem, will we?
We won't have a large credit problem, but we already have credit problems. There is $100 billion of loans that are trading below 80 right now already. So that's already been priced into the space. Now, where that goes from here is what we're talking about. Does that reflate back up into the 90s and par? Some of that will, but some of it's going to be hit in places where this sort of multi-speed economy hits it differently. You could call it the K-shaped dynamic within credit. You have the winners, and then when you get into the losers, it's pretty bad.
Well, you say 50% of those trading below 80 or 80 or below are going to default.
That's what that is history. That's what's been happening within that space.
What's up with the credit market and concerns about Fed independence? How are you thinking about the relationship? Because the credit market's been pretty quiet. Granted, it's only been a couple of days since we've learned about this probe into Chair Powell, and we're thinking about it more substantially than we have.
Well, first of all, I'd hate to have that job, and I'd hate to be the guy that gets that job, because what a horrible job. The cognitive dissonance of being that person in general to lead the Fed in this go-forward environment is going to be difficult. I think there's
give me the job, motherfucker.
Number one is...
What are you talking about? That's what I heard. I think that was the best quote of the week. Someone said the last time we saw this much of a unified backing of a political figure by the Washington institution was literally Fauci. They're treating Powell as if he is Fauci. I'm surprised because I like Fauci, or excuse me, I like Powell. Freudian slip, Josh. You love Fauci. I watched him every day. Put a mask on. I need to wash my hands 6 feet apart. I like Fauci. But Powell, man, I used to love Powell. I still kind of do, but I don't. Again, after hearing, did you guys get the update this morning? The lady Janine Pirro, she was the one who said it. She's the one who did the claim, and she just said Powell was ignoring her, and she wasn't responding to any comments. So she said he's the one who used the word indictment. None of them said that. So Fauci, but yeah, I think in a weird way, is he the finance Fauci? He came before Fauci, he was during Fauci, and he stayed after Fauci. That guy said, I would not want that job. The Fed? I would love to take the Fed job. That's it. First day of office, I would raise rates to 35%. Just for a little bit. I would fuck up the dot plot. I would be like, this is bullshit. But then I'd actually try to invert the yield curve. I'd raise short-term rates, and then I'd try to lower the long end. So I'd raise rates to 35, and then I'd initiate QE on the long end, or just on the back end. That's what they're trying to do. And then I'll say we'll go from there. That's what Volcker did, man. You need a Volcker in life. Everyone's too scared of a Volcker. Everyone's too politicized for Volcker. Volcker had people on the front lawn of the Fed protesting. And he was like, I want to go fly fishing. What? That's amazing. Are we getting big candles on gold? Oh, to the downside. I mean, even silver sold off 4.5% today. I am going to miss Powell. I've watched a lot of Powell, even with the whole theme of today, where I'm like, man, some of you guys were young. Like, dude, some people were like 15 years old when Powell, they're older now, but like we were watching Powell before that. And that's why, I mean, I've watched every single Powell, like literally. I have not missed the Jerome Powell. Before he got popular, I knew Powell. You know that. He's the most popular Fed chair ever. Just because social media wasn't big, but no other Fed chair has been mentioned as much as Jerome Powell. It's actually quite fascinating. Powell sent senator details on $2 billion Fed project after testimony. Financial Times. What's coming out now? I would establish dominance by causing rapid chaos. 100%. I genuinely, at one point in my life, I used to think I would never be able to do that job. And then after seeing all of these dumb fucks, I am fully confident. But then again, I think that's exactly how those people got the job too. Because they're like, definitely, I could definitely do this. So I can't day trade between blackout periods? Are you sure? So with all the said information, if we know we're about to adjust policy, I should not trade? Okay, what if it gives off the appearance of insider trading, but then I still do it? Okay, I could do this. Yeah, you guys don't remember? I was trying to become the Intel CEO. Y'all were laughing at me, and then now what now, bitch? Come on, dog. This was my opportunity. I was trying to take over here. Then that's not a bad idea, Josh. I'll do it. $10 billion. I didn't have 10 billion, you guys. If I had 10 billion though, damn. I guess missed opportunity. Inflation. I blame inflation. Well, we'll be there. Don't worry. We got some time. God willing. You and Powell got the same birthday? Oh, no way. Isn't it January? What's his birthday? Isn't it in January? Or June? No, February 4th. 1953. So he got Elvis. He was like 10 years old with Elvis, maybe. At least by the 20s, I think Elvis was declining a little bit. Wow. And he became a deadhead instead. Damn, Janet Yellen was born. This mother, dog. I feel bad now. Dog, Janet Yellen was born 1 year after the end of World War II. Dog, Janet Yellen, bro, have at least a decade on everybody. Damn. Yeah, Janet Yellen was born 1946, bro. Holy shit. Holy shit, Janet. The fuck? Oh, man. Not bad. Bernanke was 53. Paul Volcker was born 1927. Greenspan was 1926. Damn, what the fuck? I guess, is Greenspan dead? No. Dog, Greenspan is 99 years old now? Because didn't he just come out? He just came out in support of Powell. Holy fuck. Dog, Greenspan is 100 years old in March. He was born in 1926. March 6th. What the fuck? Dude. Yeah, Greenspan is about to turn 100. Throwing his support behind Jerome Powell. That's a trip. We all get puts in remembrance. Oh, I was just going to make a CDO of my house. But I feel we could do that. Okay. Pour one out for the... He's still alive, though. So I don't know. He can't... Don't put that... Don't curse him. Visa long. I like financials, but they're all really, really high. You could have got them a little lower, but I think you got better discounts than Visa. Were you the one who asked me that earlier? But yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier in the day. Powell's pretty old. He was born in the 50s, 53. So he's like 73 years old. Powell's pretty old. But at this rate, if he lives as long as Greenspan, you will literally be hearing about Powell in like 2050. That's crazy. PayPal. I mean, if it really flushes, everyone, because it is a financial, but same respect. That one's cheap. I would be more tempted, but PayPal has been dead money for a minute. I think PayPal would have to go below like 50 to really like get enticing, but I want a nice, like Visa's quality, PayPal's not, right? So that's what I'm saying though, with Visa still up, I would go for a quality name that's down. I mean, and PG enters into the chat. But then like a PayPal, that's in the different bargain bin basket. That's like a sweet greens of finance, more or less. You should be WBD, bro. Launch. Literally 2.5. I want to play it because that's your first 3% candle in a minute. It actually came back down, but it's probably going to be all this stupid, dumb shit. Yeah, and it's kind of already bought out. So if Netflix is moving, that has to be on WBD. Yeah, Netflix moving kind of. It's more WBD than not. But yeah, Netflix is starting to go up. Blood in my eyes, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. I like PayPal. It's just, you know, it's a little bit down and it's been at these prices before. So it's not like it's hitting a new price, but in the meantime, there's much higher quality names that went down. But I have PayPal in the long term. That's why when it goes up, it's nice. But if it goes down, we never went too big on it. There's Netflix. So yeah, Netflix is starting to tweak. There has to be a WBD headline. Either maybe they're backing out or maybe that lawsuit from earlier went through. But yeah, it's starting to move. I'll check on Netflix, but I don't see it just yet. Yeah, they're amending the bid to make it all cash, but that might not be that's weird that they're going up because last time they went down. So watch if Netflix fades and then see what WBD, because then that would make the transaction go through a lot faster, but that's it. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, trying to take my life away, many men. So they wouldn't have to sell stock. Oh, that would be a little bit more positive. Is that why it went down on the... I thought people just didn't like the... Because the amount is a lot of money. It's not there. But then again, was it Paramount? Who was it? Or Peace Sky? Weren't they suing them? And then you guys know I think we have WBD in the long term. Because we got that for free with AT&T. If you recall. But yeah, I do have PayPal as well. Yeah, you guys remember? We have 3 shares of WBD. Technically, you're down on them from the 8. These were just free shares, though. It was like a dividend at like $120 is what you got it for. PayPal reminds you of Baba at this price. It's a lot different. I feel you, because PayPal, even when we got it, I mean, it does a lot of cash in revenue, but I mean, just don't underestimate how big fucking Baba was. You know, and when we bought Baba, they had more cash than their market cap, I'm pretty sure. So PayPal does have good business, and I think it'll be around, but oddly, I mean, just, yeah, Baba was a behemoth, unfortunately. Like, PayPal's still 52 billion, but yeah, I think Baba, but you know, think about it. Baba's a mega cap. Baba's $400 billion right now. But even if you subtract it by 75%, that was still double even the size of PayPal. And then they have a lot of that in like cash, which is kind of insane. Do they have a dividend now? I thought that was just old. I don't even think we've collected a dividend. Because they used to pay a dividend back in the day. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. Let me check. Oh shit, we did get a dividend on the 10th. But that was in the last 6 months. We only got one dividend. So unless that, is that going to be stable or is that like a one time? Because I remember they cut the dividend, I think, around a little bit shortly after we bought it. And then SNX. DraftKings, I would like, because I've seen it go below IPO price. That's crazy, didn't it? We got some good money on DraftKings when we sold the house. When we sold for the house? Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, dude, we got a little bit more. But if it goes, that's what I'm saying. When DraftKings goes down, it really goes down. If it ever got to like a new price, I could consider it. But these range, I mean, IPO price and the SPAC were a little bit higher. But I do think it's going to be around in 10 years. The way the gambling's going. But then again, if like, it's either gambling's going to be around in 10 years or fucking gambling is going to destroy everybody and then DraftKings turns into like a welfare company. I don't know. It'll do something, but so I wouldn't put it as my first choice. Like I'm saying, you guys, Procter Gamble, Kimberly-Clark. I mean, shit, I would rather get Adobe. Adobe at a 52-week low. It might even go lower, but I think you have some like, and Adobe's just a mega cap scaler. Don't forget about that. There's not too many companies that do billions of dollars in revenue a quarter just off of like subscriptions and services. That's actually a very unique feature. That's why like Adobe could come into play. And Adobe, you're 5 years, 6 years, 6 year low, but it could still go lower. But then again, I think just the Procter Gamble's, Kimberly-Clark's, I mean, even fucking cereal, I think goes pretty hard, relatively speaking. Because some of those names, they haven't dropped in a really long time. I would say Chipotle, we're actually up on Chipotle now, but, you know, if it does come down a little bit, you could even consider some of those. But, yeah, I would rather go for quality, and while some of these names are in the gutter, I'm not going to consider them until the quality names go away. So, you know, in 6 months from now, if we can't find any good quality, then we'll be shopping in the PayPal DraftKings bin, more or less. You got Campbell's. You use a lot of their stuff for cooking. Oh, really? Like what? Because I don't do the soup, but I'm sure they make other stuff. They got a good dividend in CPB. They were more stable too, but they did start to break down. V8. Oh, no way. They make V8 energy? Or V8 fruit juice? Tomato, what was it? Tomato juice? I remember V8 commercials back in the day. They make Prego? No way. Some pasta? All right. Target was good at the end of last year. Some of you picked it up. You had last call end of last year on Target, $80. And that had a good dividend. I mean, shit, I was even looking Pfizer. I wish if Pfizer ever got a little lower, but if I was going to add a new name, it would probably be Kimberly or Procter Gamble. I'm a big fan of those two. Amazon pressures suppliers for price cuts ahead of Supreme Court tariff ruling. Adobe reminds you of Meta a few years ago. All right, slow down, motherfucker. Okay? like I'm saying, there's unique things about Adobe. That's why I even bring it up. But it's not Meta. I wouldn't get that excited about it. And then they have a little bit more unique competition. But then again, there's not too many companies that again have scaled up to billions of dollars in revenue a quarter. Adobe is in a very rare category of companies that could do that. That's why it's dope. But yeah, I don't know if like I would compare it to Meta, because again, I think it has a lot of risk. But then if they ever fully establish their position, they'll be good. Because I'm old. We're having all this. I remember Adobe. There was a time, it was like, I think it was 2016, 2015. There was a time where Adobe wasn't doing too hot because of torrents. And then they used to sell Photoshop on a disc. And then they found a way to turn it to a subscription model. And then a lot of people thought it wasn't going to make it, and then it ripped. So I remember all of it. I remember their whole rebrand, the crack CDs to the software. It was amazing. So it was a very, very good one. They're very resilient. It's a great company, but yeah, it's very volatile at the same time. But yeah, I wouldn't call it a Meta. But in an odd way, it's in a category of companies, and Meta is one of those scalers. Abavacious. Target. I like Target. I liked it those 80s and 90s. I was considering it, but then I was a little bit scared of the divvy as much. But if you got to ride through it, you did good. But then TAP was the one near book value for me. I would have been buying more TAP if it wasn't higher already. Yeah, maybe Adobe will be good when, like I told you, I'll buy Adobe when you have like a lot of people, when they're like, who even uses Adobe? Nobody uses Adobe. And then once they think Adobe's like, who even uses PDFs? I don't even use a computer. And then once you get that, then you'll be good. That's when I think for those, because that's how it was with Meta, Netflix, all those. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. Yeah, UPS, you got a whole year at 7%, and they didn't adjust anything. It's kind of like Pfizer. Pfizer, we've gotten 2 years at a very high dividend payout. So, I was looking at Pfizer because we already own a lot of Pfizer. So that way we could stack into it. That's if I really wanted the dividend. But then again, like Kimberly-Clark, PG are just way different quality. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. Yeah, Meta dropped though, and remember though, Mark Zuckerberg was losing billions of dollars a quarter trying to build a headset after changing the name of the company. But then again, people associated Facebook with your grandma and political scandals. So the whole Meta branding kind of worked, but then it's also kind of a stain. Our new name is AI Glasses. New AI Glasses. That's it. We're going to change it to AIGL. Agile, agility. We switch spending plans quickly. Conagra's not bad. I mean, it's food. I like the more consumer products a little bit higher up, but if you don't have any and you'd want to take a risk, it might work. But yeah, I mean, I use Adobe still. But yeah, I think a little bit more. But if you're willing to bite the bullet and deal with some more volatility, then you'll be good to go. But yeah, I mean, I've been using Adobe my whole life, actually. I used to steal Photoshop, back in the day. Don't arrest me. But more or less, I use all of it for media. And then video editing, Adobe Premiere. Yeah, Adobe is like solid. Kimberly-Clark makes Kim wipes. What's that? Is that like does that have to do with Kim Kardashian, or is it a baby wipe, or what is it? I don't know what a Kim wipe is. I feel nervous asking. Lab tissue paper. We use it to clean microscopes. Oh, no way. Kim wipes. Ah. Yeah, anything paper, bro. They make toilet paper. They make Kleenex. They make tissue paper. Just all paper products. Tampons and diapers. And then Procter & Gamble toothpaste and body wash and Old Spice. I love Procter & Gamble's portfolio. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. All right, Mike. Remember, Microsoft at the White House tomorrow. Oh, shit. You only got 3 minutes left, and then you're closing up at VWAP. It felt kind of exciting, but we didn't really do much today, you guys. I mean, you're just going to end up at the level you were at within like an hour. I mean, again, Trump says we'll take really strong action if Iran executes protesters. So like I said, just watch out for oil, Iran. You'll get that over the weekend. Again, watch out for, Apple is going up too. That's probably giving you the lift. But remember, White House, there's going to be people at the White House tomorrow, mainly Microsoft and a couple of other companies talking about utilities, electricity, and data centers, and them absorbing the cost. So affordability mixed with tech. But wrap it up, Chatadonia. You got 3 minutes remaining. So God bless you and God bless America. I would bring it home, my brother. I would bring it home. Yeah, we'll have a watch list tonight. Assuming I don't catch a virus from the gym. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try. If anything, I'll just whisper to you guys. It really sucks, dude. Because even yesterday, I was feeling good. I didn't feel bad at the watch list, though. I felt it more when I woke up today and I sneezed. So what the fuck am I sneezing for, dude? Even today, I had like sneeze attacks like 3 different times today. So yeah, but we'll live. I will survive. That's 70s. That's a good one, man. Yeah, you will get the Supreme Court stuff, but remember, it's not guaranteed. So there might be a shot tomorrow, considering some of the comments Trump made, but that technically is not. That's not a guaranteed outcome tomorrow. So we'll see. I got all my life to live, and my long term will give, so I keep safe. And I'm gonna save my 10%. Yeah, bound and down. I'm at a long time, so you back from trading space. Okay, I'm sorry. Get a long term, mother. You know what I'm saying? You only have 1 minute. Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Shares, futures, options, it doesn't matter. Make a decision. We had a lot of long-term talk. What's it? AI chip startup Etched raises $500 million to challenge NVIDIA. And then Energy Secretary Wright, U.S. would happily partner with Iran on oil if the regime ends. All right, man. Well, it's going to be about oil, tech, a little bit of the White House tomorrow, maybe some tariffs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding 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 ding. Horna Chattatonia. Are you kidding me? We did it. We made it. 7 hours in the books. Tuesday is over. Wednesday on the way. You got a little bit of Trump. You got a little bit of policy. You got a little bit of, you got some movement and some data. Let me get a GG in the chat, baby. God bless you and thank you. I want to delay GG too. You better drop the GG. It don't matter if you made money or lost money. All that matters is you learned something. All that matters is you pointed the compass in the right direction. Stop playing with me, dog. It's game time. You got to start creating. You know that? You were 2 years old last year. Come on. Long term. It's your time. But you got to start. It's better to do it now. Better to do it while you young, baby. God bless you. Members, non-members, stream alerts, the locked in. Are you really about that life or not? Are you really? Let me see the long term. It's your future. That's pay yourself before anything, brother. But start. And it's going to take time. You're going to build with the dirt in your face, so you will not be despised forever, brother. Oh, my. I need me to rock. You won't see me a lot. Monday through Friday, you need me, let's talk. Am I mad or just passionate? Huh?
Long term.
Are you fam or just acting? Okay, I'll let it
mad or just passionate.
God bless you, baby. Have a great day.
Are you fam or just
I'll see you in the morning.
No, I talk a lot.
Not bright and early, but pretty early. No data tomorrow.
Keep it in the roto. We are not the same, like rice isn't risotto. All the real ones know it's always no photos. Hit the market crash, stop backing, I'm the go-to. Just because you know me, that don't mean that I'm gonna know you. Man, talk starts non-stop, I am really him. If your name not Ben, we ain't really friends. Franklin at the end if you ain't getting that. I think all y'all do sedatives, or worse, I hope it's not hereditive. You ride the wave, but I invented it. I saved, and then I started lending it. Make trades, and I put it to another crib. That's a formula I did my whole life. My bro knew I was quick, so he taught me how to fight. Said you being followed if they take 3 rights. If they don't want your chain, then they want your life. So I go and share both of those. If you kill me or you rob me, either way the money overflows. All about $1, you can tell my heart is really cold. Something in my head, cause my soul is getting really old. Don't let a gamble tie your mind up. Nah, don't let a bitch fuck your life up. It's true, nothing good happens at the night, bro. Money is fun, son, I hope you made your mind up. Tell me who the line up, show me where you find her. You can have a rollie, it don't matter when your time up. Handed him a Bible when he asked for a light, bro. We are not the same, like a lion's not a tiger. The difference is the difference. That's my old bitch's shit, that's my new bitch. That's the YouTube and the Twitch. From the hills to the trench, in the game to the bench. The difference make the man.
Long term. Chattatonia. Well, God bless you, baby. I hope you had a good day. I hope you enjoyed it. But I do have to depart.
Long term.
I'll let Uncle keep talking to you, man.
It's a cup, baby.
Some of y'all need to go listen to Uncle from like 8 years ago. I think there is Uncle from 8 years ago.
Long term.
Short term. Welcome to the war.
Love with the game.
But I love you, Chad.
Haters
and stay blessed. And that's it, man. Are you going to create or not? That's ready on the land. I don't care about the clock. I care about the compass. Avoid stupidity. May God be with you, Chad. That's not even like a chance. It's just a fact. He is with you. You better start acting like it.
10-cent finish. Tell me not to mock it, but you don't know your limit.
Stop it.
Both of us could lose, but one of us is winning. All of us alive. So tell me how you living. Blessed. I already know it though, don't care about your whip. I got a crib in my portfolio. You should be yourself, stop back at Cornholio. Fluid in the well, but the pocket's so colloquial. Crypto in the wallet, but we bought it 10 years ago. Put it in the videos, put it in the lyrics, bro. Funny how it's cynical fuss, still didn't hear it though. Forgive me for the language, I'm still working on the spiritual. Mr. Professional, talk about the revenue. Hard to ride the wave when you riding on my genitals. Talking about my plays, but they hear like an edible. I'm used to little humans telling me what's not attainable. The to the mission. Lot of holding, lot of sitting. Act like you can't change your mind before you go and make decisions. You don't even need precision, cause you at it while you stack it, while you
That
at
right
it,
there, bro.
getting it. Who the
Act
villain,
like you
money
can't
tree,
change your
gonna
mind
kill
for
it,
10
cause
years.
You keep on fucking with it, trying to learn the art
Add
of
it.
killing it.
You
Don't
hold
matter
it,
your
you
religion,
sit there.
what you have or what you didn't.
I
Cause
don't
in future
feel
you
you.
gon' ask the current you, but why you didn't.
Feel me?
Sick with it, boy, I'm talking big business.
Do you
I don't
feel
need
me?
no 3 wishes, just a G-O-D vision. I be C-O-D with it. Cindy, I keep flipping. Know I'm all about a dollar, but I'm all about a mission. Who we kidding? God is always in it. Ain't no way to spin it. If it's yours, you gonna get it. You can build it in a year, but you can lose it in a second. You can use the toe for life, or you can use it as a weapon. I already know it. Don't care about your whip. I got a crib on my portfolio.
Chatted, that's it, man. Lot of holding, lot of sitting. Act like you can't change your mind before you go and make decisions. You know that, right? That's the other rule. 10 years minimum. So instead of thinking about it after you do it, you think about it before. So what if I told you, this one's a little bit graphic, but you make a decision. If you wanted to change your mind, you had to cut a finger off. Would you think about what you were doing a little bit more? That's how you have to pick your stocks. That's it. It's 10 years minimum. That's why some of y'all like, look, Josh, thumbs up. I'm like, what happened to your other 4 fingers? Why did you cut them off like that? What are you doing, man? Nah, 10 years minimum. You cannot change your mind, brother. You do that, life will be, it's easy. Very, very easy. So God bless you, Chattadonia. Have a wonderful evening. Go read the books. Richest Man in Babylon. Proverbs New Living Translation. The Strangest Secret in the World. Can I ask, if you were 15 years old in 2020, give or take, have you read Richest Man in Babylon? If you have not read that book, I think your life will change by very, very shortly if you go and read it. If you have not read Richest Man in Babylon, okay? If you haven't read that and you were a youngin' a couple years ago, I would encourage you to go read it, bro, all right? So have a good day. God bless you. Finger to the sky. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone, baby. Peace. I know. I got you, bro. I got you. Bye.
Jesus. Praise God. Amen. It's a call, baby. Hey. Yeah, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you trying to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah, it's done. Daddy said it's finished, made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours, it's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the ark. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god, then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib, but for a second, keep it real. It's not the reason they will kill, it's the freedom in believing. They want that to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say it proud. Here, let's say it now. Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting.